Is the link working for
I
Link?
didn't even jump on it.
Oh, all good, all good.
I haven't tried.
Sorry for the delay. I got stuck trying to sort this thing out, and then I didn't pour myself a coffee, and then I was like, well, fuck, I'm not starting a session without a coffee. It's never been done before, and I'm not going to start now.
What happens? You're in Melbourne, you got to start off with a coffee.
Today is the first day that I have worn socks. Like not in my life, just since last winter.
Oppressors of the toes.
It's like, where have you been all my life?
All right.
Okay.
So I will start off with. Hold on. Where's this little soundtrack? There we go. I'll start off with what I like to call a little dungeon keeping for anyone who hasn't done housekeeping in a dungeon before. The first thing I wanted to mention is just that I forgot to give everyone XP at the end of the session last time. So let me just work out how to do that, because I can't even remember. Here we go. I think... What did that do? Did it give you XP? Nope. Oh, I see. So that should have either given
I
you
can
your
see it.
XP or... Yeah, there you go. Alright. So that was the first thing. The other thing was I added some information to the... Where is it? The spellcasting handout. I just added a little bit of stuff about critical miscasts and spell foci and component pouches. As I mentioned last time, I don't expect you to like read through this whole thing or anything. It's like mostly just there like so that we or I can reference it when needed. Yeah, that's there in case we need it. Okay, a couple of things that came up in the last session. The first thing is that I slipped back into an old rookie error, which really annoyed me when I was watching, which is that I was asking for investigation checks instead of perception checks when you guys were looking for something. So I apologize to those of you with good wisdom and shitty intelligence. Vindaros, maybe? I don't know if you got shitty intelligence.
We're gonna have to give you for this.
Oh, it would have made a slight... That +1. You wouldn't have just found all of those empty crates.
There's ropes.
What else? Oh, okay. Giving a potion to an unconscious ally. I thought about it and decided to be an arsehole instead of not an arsehole, so I'm going to say that it will take a full action to do it.
I like it.
Rather than a bonus action. And also, you know, you would still need to use your object interaction, of course, to get the potion out of your bag and everything. The reason is mainly just because I feel like maybe it makes sense to have a bonus action to just quaff a potion, like as you're about to hit somebody with your weapon. I don't know, but probably like a downed ally, you'd need to like, you know, kneel down and sort of lift them up and elevate their head and carefully tip the potion in so they don't suffocate to death. I don't even know for sure if you could drink while you're unconscious, but anyway. I guess the magical potion trickles
probably
down their
not.
throat into their lungs and revives them. Another thing that came up was the lighting of fires, which Yao Mei isn't here, but I'll just mention anyway that I had an inkling that it would take more than just a couple of stones to light a fire in the last session, but I couldn't remember. I didn't know enough about it at the time, but I had to look into it, and you would need definitely some flint or something similar like quartz, and also then like a sharp metallic rock or a striker. So that would be usually something like pyrite, like fool's gold. You could use also iron, but we don't have iron. And you could use something like a bronze knife, but it wouldn't be ideal because it would be very soft. It would take it'd take a lot of time and it would destroy the knife. You can also create a fire, like a friction fire, by like rubbing two sticks together. But that apparently, I watched some YouTube stuff on it, and apparently it's like really fucking difficult. Like even for somebody that knows what they're doing, you need like a hard piece of wood and a soft piece of wood that'll create like dust, and you definitely need wood that's not wet. So anyway, I'm thinking that maybe Yao Mei found like a piece of flint on the beach, and it was kind of like hiding in some kind of like whitish sedimentary rock. She was able to identify it and smash it open. And then I'll say that because I'm sort of retconning, I don't want to like destroy her knife. So we'll say that maybe Farrik, she asked like Farrik for a dagger, and he was like, "Oh, of course you can use my dagger." And then after she used it and gave it back to him, it was like blunted and shitty. He was like, "Oh, if I had known, I would have suggested that ostrich fella give his dagger." And he kind of skulks away. Okay, the other thing is Reti. I've given you a shillelagh attack to make it easy to cast shillelagh. Also, I realized while I was watching it that shillelagh is Irish, not Scottish. I feel like any person that happened to be watching the YouTube video out of the 3 people that watch it that might be Irish could have been extremely offended. So I should be saying shillelagh instead of shillelagh, because that would be way less offensive.
Isn't that just a difference in pitch?
I don't know what you're talking about. Shillelagh. Yeah, pretty much.
Shillelagh.
That's basically the sum difference of those two peoples, isn't it? Just pitch. Nobody's going to be offended by that. Okay. But I did also notice, Reti, that shillelagh actually has a couple of components which you don't have, so you wouldn't have been able to cast shillelagh. But I figure that you like to travel around and sort of explore things, and once in a while you can get into like a bit of danger, and so I reckon like shillelagh is a spell that you know well, and maybe you often conceal some mistletoe and some shamrock leaf in your shell for times like these.
Here's what I prepared earlier.
So I put those in your inventory.
Okay.
But next time, there won't be a next time. All right. What else? Okay, the US measurement system is called customary units system, not the crap system. Just in case we offend any of the 1 out of the 3 viewers. And I forgot to explain. That brings me to the next point, which is that I forgot to explain a conversion between the customary unit system and the metric system, which. Just in case you want to sort of look at spells and things and assess them and decide whether you want to use them in the game, and also just for the record, to convert from customary to metric, basically what I'm doing is that measurements under 100 feet are just the measurements in feet divided by 5 in meters rounded down. And then in order to keep them working on the standard grid while also sort of maintaining like pleasing measurements for projectile weapons and some other things that make sense. If there's a range that's above 100 feet, then I split it into short and long range, where the short range is still like the measurement in feet divided by 5 in meters rounded down, but the long range is the measurement in feet divided by 3 in meters rounded to the nearest 10. Are you following this?
There's a lot
Is it
of
gonna be
feet.
on the test?
It's gonna be on the test.
Okay.
And yeah, where short and long ranges already exist, they're kind of just treated in this same way, even if the original long range is below 100 feet. So for example, Fireball has a range of 30/50 meters and a 4-meter radius. And also note that like long range attacks, like spell attacks and any other attacks, are at disadvantage as always. But long range spells that have saves, the target will make the save at advantage. And if it's like a spell that has like multiple targets, I have put a thing in here about critical miscasts that goes over that. But otherwise, like whatevs, we'll get to that when we get to it. All right. With all that aside, partly I just wanted to have that on the record. I want to give inspiration to Yao Mei, actually, for being creative and persistent despite being hassled by these big egos and finding a way to find some flint and light a fire on the beach, which is probably what she meant all along, but I didn't realize. I initially just thought she was like trying to gather stones to create like a sort of a fire pit. But anyway, inspiration to Yao Mei, and I will... Sorry, not what she meant, what he meant. And I will put the inspiration on his character sheet. And I think that's everything. So... in the story so far, what do you all remember from the last session?
Well, Razzie. Where do we start with Razzie? No, we're not serving Razzie.
I was just sitting at home, gathering some items for the ceremonies, when all of a sudden these big guys come in, and where do I end up on this bloody beach?
Pretty much sums it up. Anything else?
Pretty much it, right? Took a detour by the big prison with everyone, brought us onto the ship, and
Yep.
here we are between the plains and the forest.
You also saw a fancily dressed skeleton person.
Yeah, that was scary. Yet alluring.
Why did you find it alluring, Twig?
The beauty and mystery of the long sleep.
Except that guy was like up and walking around.
Yes, that's true.
I
Sleepwalking.
suppose you would be sleepwalking. I suppose you would be pretty curious about that though.
Yeah.
As like a sort of a shaman's assistant that deals with funerary practice.
I do all rites. I do all ceremonies.
Right.
Marriages, births, funerals. Ask me to do funerals.
First deaths and marriages.
We should have done a couple for those 2 hyenas on the beach before we...
Actually, I would. That's one thing that I want to do as we are on this beach. But yeah, maybe that'll come.
All right. Well, I'll take us to the beach. Seeing as, it's not that much happened in the last session, really. I mean, you spent a lot of it in just behind bars, behind doors with bars connected to them.
Up around the campfire. By the...
Yeah. So time froze between then and now around the campfire. So actually, usually or often there will be downtime between sessions, or sometimes. But I'll let you know when there's going to be downtime or when there has been downtime. And we'll sort of work out, you can do some like downtime activities and things like that. Although I don't really know exactly how I'm going to approach those things, but we'll work it out as we get there. But yeah, in this case, it was just, it is 1 second past when we finished the last session. I don't know what happened in that second. Not much. And, but it's just after sunrise, and it's still about 2 degrees Celsius, and for you guys especially, it's bloody freezing. And there's a pretty strong wind, or like a sort of a moderate to strong wind blowing in off the water. And yeah, speaking of these dead hyenas that are sort of lying on the beach, there's the 2 that you killed, and there's a few others, in both directions. And many of them are being eaten by these carnivores. Some of them while still alive. And there's a few refugees you can see around that have some of these like livestock, like pigs and chickens and goats and things like that. There's not like heaps of them, there's just like a few of them, and they're kind of like grabbing onto them and trying to sort of pull them over to the fire. Maybe in some cases they're like arguing over them. Yeah, Twig, you found a goat.
Oh yeah, I did.
What do you do with that goat?
Your noble steed.
I was thinking that because I am small. Am I small enough to ride this goat? I think I'm about 3 feet tall.
You're 3 feet tall?
Wait, let me double check.
Tell me in meters. I can't do the crap system.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right.
You are...
Where's my token?
no, that's your speed. Oh, it's
Oh, here.
Oh, I seem to remember that you said you were like 1 meter. 1 meter.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, I'm 1 meter tall.
Yeah, you're like... This is like... Yeah, this looks like a pretty decent sized goat. And like, I feel like... Yeah, why not? You can ride the goat. I mean, like, you're not going to be able to do combat from the goat. Like, it's pretty unstable. You got to like cling on, like, like kind of cling into its fur with your long fingers. But you can ride it around. but it's I mean, it's probably not used to being ridden. I would say, like, if you're going to try to get it to move or do what you want, like, it's just, you climb onto it and it's just kind of like... Like, what do you do to try to, like, get it to follow your commands?
I'm gonna ask it very nicely to please move forward.
It just stands there.
I'm not very good with animals. I might give a small pat on the rump.
Like, as in, like, you're trying to get it to gallop, or like a friendly pat? Like, you're trying to make friends with it?
No, more of a galloping pat.
So you're trying to like make it sting a little bit?
No, just like, okay, maybe not like, but like a gentle trot, just like a hoo, like
All right, give me an animal handling check.
All right, let's see. Am I animal handling? Oh yeah, I'm not good at this.
You hit this goat on the rump. You're trying to just do it like not too hard but not too soft. It's kind of like It seems surprised, and it kind of trots forward a little bit, a couple of times,
Ooh.
sort of kicks up some sand, but it kind of comes to a halt again, like, and tries to like kind of shake you off a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna climb off, and I'll continue working on this. But for now, I'm just gonna like hug it and try and like stay warm using this goat.
Yeah, I mean, you can hug it for warmth, and I'd say probably like maybe even it is used to warmer temperatures, and it doesn't seem like to protest too much to the fact that you're hugging it.
Befriending begins now. But can I bring this goat along with me as I walk along the shore, inspecting these corpses?
Not to get stuck on the goat, but how do you bring the goat along with you?
I'm hugging it, and I sort of just move and, try and get it to move with me. Is that a...
It does not move. You've taken it close to the fire, and it just wants to stay there in the warmth.
All right, I'm going to leave the goat. My curiosity must be sated.
Okay. So you want to like approach these Hyanese corpses?
Yeah, I wanna know what they are, or like, I don't know, did they have some sort of insignia, or like, I don't know, want to know more about them.
So you can kind of search at least the two that are nearby that you slew. Go on.
Oh, I also want to see if they have a little piece of hardened leather or something.
Yeah, you would find.
Cured leather.
Let me see. You would find that they are wearing hide armor. Which
Where is it?
you can't find it, it's hidden. But the only thing is, I don't know if hide armor would be cured. I'm not sure how that works.
I think...
I would say that...
Isn't all leather cured? I don't know. I don't really know anything about leather.
I don't know the answer to that either, but I'll say that in this case, at least one of them has maybe like a belt or some kind of strap that's like holding the hide armor on, and that would be cured. That would count as cured leather.
Cool.
If the armor doesn't count as that in itself.
I would like to take this.
Okay, you can do that. And you also sort of trying to turn them over and kind of rifle through their clothes and like check their skin for like branding, stuff like that. You find not really any kind of like tattoos or anything or like brands on their skin. I'm trying to think if there would be any emblems or anything on their clothes. Not really. You don't really find anything that would identify them in that way. But one of them has a whip. Which is just kind of lying there on the ground. And I'll also say, give me a perception check to see if you kind of find anything tucked away in boots or anything like that. Yeah, I will say that you find a little bit of stuff. Let me see. So you find on one of them a a sack that's like tucked away in its boot. You're able to kind of pull out this little sort of leather. Maybe this would be a piece of cured leather as well, but a little kind of like, yeah, like a little pouch that's kind of tucked in its boot, and you can pull it out, and it is full of these small rings. There are 9 gold rings, 11 silver rings. Sorry, 16 silver rings. I'll say that, like, in one case it's kind of in this like little pouch in its boot, and in the other case you find some on the other Hyanese grunt as well, and it is like actually these rings are kind of looped around a piece of leather that's like tied to its belt. And so this equates to essentially 9 gold pieces and 16 silver pieces. But it's ring money because it's Bronze Age.
Ooh. Ring money.
And let me see. Yeah, you don't really find anything else on them.
The mystery continues. Thank you.
Do you leave the whip?
Oh yeah, I would like to come back and present this to Reti and Vindaros.
Okay.
And Yao Mei, I guess. See if anyone wants it.
Oh, no, not me. I'm okay with this stuff, but hey, Yao Mei found for me. Thank you. I think it was Yao Mei. I can't remember. It's so long ago. It's 10 minutes now.
And what about Vindaros?
Oh, with the whip, was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can't communicate, but I guess like Twig is just sort of offering it to you.
Oh, Thank you, young. Vindaros will accept it
Okay,
Oh, sweet.
with a smile.
I've added a whip to your inventory.
Thanks.
And while this is going on, of course, Razi and Farrik are still going around, kind of puffing out their chests, kind of competing with each other, trying to recruit as many of these refugees as they can to their alternate causes. You know, Razi is still trying to, like, at least Vindaros you would understand. It's kind of going around, you know, saying like I said, I was head guy in my tribe, and I think that these guys here, they've shown themselves to be excellent fighters, and of course we owe them a great deal for setting us free. But I think what we need now is real leadership, and I propose that I am the one to do it. I will lead us into these plains, and I will find us water and shelter and food. And Farrik is also going around. I don't know what that guy's talking about, but I'm quite convinced that what we need right now is a strong leader. And I propose that I am just that leader. And so, never fear, I will take all of you, along with our heroes here, he like gestures in your direction, into the safe forests, where I will help to find water and shelter and food. And some of these people are sort of nodding their heads, especially the ones that can understand these respective politicians. But not all of them. Sometimes some of them who may not speak the same language, or perhaps weren't from the plains or from the jungle, the savannah or the jungle, may still be encouraged by by one of these other leaders. And so these people start to kind of like talk amongst themselves, you know, like what are we going to do? Like what's going to happen next? And there's still a bunch of them that are kind of, you know, kind of walking around trying to pick up like a bunch of stuff off the beach. Actually, at one point, a Macedonian woman comes up to you, Vindaros. And she's like carrying two of these big barrels under her arms. And she kind of she's missing both of her tusks. And she says, hello, where should I put these? And she's speaking to you.
Thank you for all your hard work. Would I happen to know her name, since it's a smaller village?
You haven't met this Macedonian before, so you assume she must be from a different tribe.
Different tribe. Thank you for all your hard work. We Mastodons definitely know the true meaning of hard work. Please place can I take one of those barrels off and place it down?
Thank you.
Next to I'm Vindaros.
My name is Bragoska. It is good to meet you. She kind of like plunks these barrels down, sort of relinquishes one into your hands. She says, it seems the only reason that these made it to the shore is because they are half full. I have found one other half full barrel of water, but this will not be enough to satisfy the needs of all of these people.
Correct. We definitely need to manage this. Sorry, Raduska, I could see that as well.
Bragoska.
You carry scars that a lot of my tribe carry this similar burden to. I hope that wasn't too painful and that you're at peace with that.
She kind of looks down, a bit uncomfortable for a moment, and says, indeed, the Hyanese took my tusks when I strayed too far from the tribe. It is something that has been happening to my people for some time. It is sad to hear that it is also happening to your people. I would have died if it wasn't for my brothers and sisters who rescued me and nursed me. We were unable to continue our nomadic life for several weeks. But they took care of me and did not reject me. And eventually I healed. And although I will never be the same again, I have learned other ways to be strong without my tusks.
This is something that I'd like to settle as well with the Hyanese. But not to dwell. Let's go and fetch the other barrel before we lose sight of that.
Good idea. And you can sort of walk over, follow her over through the sand. These two like large Macedonians trudging through the sand towards this other barrel. And there's actually, by the time you get there, Farrik is actually standing by this barrel, and he's kind of looking around. Oh, there you are. It's like, wait, can you understand me? He's like, this
Vindaros.
Vindaros. Well, I found this barrel of water.
Yes.
I think I should take it with me. If I am to lead,
Yes.
I will need to be well hydrated.
Vindaros just picks up the barrel. And points.
I would like to gift it to you.
Yes. Hey, just not politely. Yes. And Vindaros will place it with the other barrel. Is this again half full, or is that full barrel?
Just half full.
Does it feel half full? He'll place it with the other barrels.
yeah, there are some other refugees kind of cracking open barrels, but they're mostly empty. And yeah, like generally speaking, if the barrels were sort of full, they probably wouldn't have floated here, I think.
True.
So yeah, it seems like there's not very much water. And there's already like some people kind of like herding around, sort of looking at these barrels. And
Well, because we've actually been through pretty traumatic night, definitely. I'm just trying to think what Vindaros would use as a vessel for the water that he can just pour into, and everyone can have a sip and pass it, and you fill it up. Possibly. I don't know. Was there any like crockery that washed up on shore? Any half flasks or?
I got a pouch.
Drink.
it's full of sand, isn't it?
No, I got another pouch.
Oh, you got another pouch.
full
That's
of
true.
money.
Well, if you don't want to use the pouch, Vindaros, give me another perception check, or give me another perception check. Yes. $14. Yes, you are able to find. You look around, and you see. Well, actually, what you see. Well, let me just roll something. What are we? Probably okay. So, firstly, in your search, you find a wooden bucket.
Oh,
That could work. You also find another crate that has
quarter stuff in it.
you crack open this crate and it has 15 torches in it. This is the second crate of torches that you found.
Yeah, shipment of torches and quarterstaffs.
And you also, in kind of looking around for some sort of receptacle, you kind of, you're scanning the beach. And you look over and you see what looks like just this small fellow sitting amongst some of these like earthenware amphorae. And this fellow is like a raccoon folk. And he's like sitting on sort of on like the hilly part of the beach where like the beach kind of gives way to the embankment, and it kind of starts getting a little bit grassy. He's kind of sitting there, and he's got a couple of these amphorae like around him, and he's got one, and he's kind of like drinking it and going like, face it, we're screwed anyway. And he like turns to see you, and he's like, you want to have a drink, my big man?
Why not? We're on this beautiful beach.
What? What did you say? Sorry, I don't speak big.
Let me put. I was gonna say, let me put this in small. Vindaros will. Yeah. Is he offering him a drink? He's like.
Yeah, he's like holding this amphora up.
So, okay, so Vindaros definitely takes the vessel and cheers.
He's like, might as well enjoy it. We're done for anyway.
Yes,
we made it all the way here just to sit on this beach and die. Where the hell is this? We're weeks away from our homes. Why fight it? But I'll tell you what though, I know you can't understand me, But it's good chatting with you.
Oh, that was a hell of a ride on that boat. Yes.
What? Yeah.
I know, yeah.
This guy gets it. He gets it.
This guy.
And maybe he sees Reti. And he's like, what about you? You want a drink?
Oh, I might have one as well. I mean,
You I can understand.
yeah, I speak small as well.
You know, I used to be a winemaker, a vintner, and a brewer of ales, and a bit of a specialist in good times, you could say. I used to make other things as well, drinks of roots and mushrooms, such. But I gotta tell you, this is some of the best wine I've ever had. You gotta hand it to them. And he like hands you the amphora.
I'll take it, sweet. I'll give a cheers to Vindaros as well. Just nodding.
But then
This
he,
guy.
Can I see this happening?
yeah, this would be nearby.
I want to come. I want to have a drink.
How are you, my Tarsian friend?
Hello. I heard there was drinks going around.
Yeah, have a swig, but don't spread it around. It's starting to turn into a bit more of a party than I intended.
You seem like a partying fellow.
I'm just trying to drink myself into a comfortable grave. He like hands you one of these amphorae. I mean, really, why
Thank
struggle? Why go out fighting? It'll only be worse for us in the end. And look over there. He like points at these like these lion folk that are like tearing up this dead Hyanese. It's only so long until those guys run out of food and turn their eyes on us.
That is a I hadn't thought of that.
It's a bit of a sobering thought, but I feel like our friends, sort of gesture at Vindaros, seem to be looking out for the little ones.
That's true. Although I do hope it's not a sobering thought. That's the last thing I want. But that's true. Some of these big old vegans, they probably could take on some of these lions. Still, what are we supposed to do? Where do we even go? Where is this?
These are all excellent questions, my friend.
He kind of like, he points down the beach a little bit, and there's this group of Archelons there. He's like, old mate, you should go and check in on your fellows. They're wandering off. You can see like this group of Archelons, they seem to be sort of like huddled together, and they're kind of gradually like drifting away from the rest of the group.
Thanks for pointing them out. I'll go over. Hello, friends. Are you leaving the beach?
One of them kind of comes over, sees you approaching, and sort of walks over to you. Yeah. Where'd you come from? I don't know you.
Must have been to a different, from a different school, no doubt.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Oh, the jungle.
Ah, me too.
Are you thinking of venturing into the forest?
You reckon the forest, eh? These guys here, I was talking to them. They think we should stay on the beach. You know? What about you?
Well, if we do stay on the beach, I don't particularly want to stay here. There's a chance that the Hyenas come looking for us for their lost ship. So,
Man.
myself, I'm not too familiar with the beach. I'd be much more comfortable inland, I think.
That's a good point. I think some of these guys are from some of the beachy areas along the coast, and they were suggesting we look for some caves or something. Maybe we could make some nets, do some fishing. You know?
Make out a good life for yourselves.
Yeah, that's right. Find some, freshwater estuaries or something like that.
Ooh.
But I tell you what, though. What was your name, did you say?
I'm Reti.
Reti. Nice to meet you. My name's Sherman.
Nice to meet you, Sherman.
I reckon these guys are I reckon they're being a bit stupid. Because I reckon, safety in numbers and all that. They want to go off on their own down the beach. They're probably going to get eaten by one of those shark-like things that we saw in the water before. That you guys saved us from. I don't think I want to go with them. But also, I don't want to be away from my own folk. What say you want to go have a talk to them?
Yeah, I can go over and have a chat. I'm also a proponent of safety in numbers. I think it's a wise thing to live by.
You're a good lad. And he pats you on the back.
That's shit.
And as he's patting you on the back, give me a perception check.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice. So as he's patting you on the back, with his other hand, he is attempting to take your dagger. Wait, where is your dagger? Because I guess it would just be in your hand. You don't have a bag or anything.
Not really. I mean,
in that case, he's not trying to take your dagger. He's trying to take your precious mistletoe out of your shell. He kind of pats you on the back. It's like he's seen this mistletoe kind of sticking up a little bit out of your shell, and he's patting you on the back, and then kind of just, quite skillfully almost, just slips his hand down and just yoink, grabs the mistletoe, but you just catch it out of the corner of your eye.
do I have the mistletoe, or did he end up grabbing it from me?
Well, you kind of see him as he's going for it.
I use my hand to, I guess, whack his hand away with my quarterstaff.
Yeah, what's the big idea? I was just giving you a pat on the back.
Oh, I don't know about that. What do you be needing any mistletoe for anyway? Sure.
Mistletoe? I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't seen nothing. And you notice at this point that he, this guy is he's this stocky Archelon, pretty stocky, and you didn't notice it before, but now you sort of realize, scrutinizing him a bit closer, that it looks like he's got a black eye, like he's been in a fight recently.
Well, I hope you're not wanting any trouble with me now, Sherman.
Trouble? No way, sir. I just thought we could come to an arrangement. I apologize if my hand slipped and brushed against your mistletoe. But
That's, these things happen.
they certainly do. They certainly do. Anyway, look, I feel like, we're probably gonna need some protection, so I'll leave you to it. And, I'll just be over here, having a drink with these guys. He, walks over and, sits down next to the raccoon folk and Vindaros and Twig.
I sort of, wave at Twig and be like...
I would like to keep an eye on Sherman.
Give me a perception check.
Ooh. Oh, I'm not so good. Ooh.
Alright. Nothing happens that you could tell for the moment.
These eyes are big, but they're all for show.
Did that give you any advantage, actually? You might have had an advantage from having
may
the
have an
huge
advantage.
eyes.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do. I have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight.
You can roll again.
I can roll again. No. Ooh.
All right, you're keeping a good old eye on him. A good two big eyes on him. But you don't see him doing anything.
All right. Very good.
I'll go over to the other Arcolans. It's like, hello. Shannon mentioned you might be sticking along the beach, sort of wandering off and trying to look for some caves and estuaries and the like.
Oh yes, I wouldn't trust that guy.
Yeah, no, I figured that one out pretty quickly. But what are you thinking about this whole situation anyway?
Well, we really don't know. Do you have any ideas?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I'd like to stay with the group, I guess, and feel like we're safer all together. But it seems there's not too much water running around. I think we have to make a choice eventually. And that choice is coming soon, no doubt.
We did think that we could find some kind of freshwater estuary or something like that. Can't be too far away, and maybe some caves, and perhaps that would be safe. We're scared, to be honest, and also not sure that we want to be around those guys. And he like points at those same fella chewing the hyenas.
Yeah, well, better they're chewing the hyenas than us, at least for now. Must have
That's
been
true.
morbidly enjoying it to some degree. But alas, I think if we are with the others, the mastodons, the larger sort of herbivores, I think safe enough anyway. But I agree, we need to make some sort of choice. I'll see what I can find out. I'll let you know if I do learn.
Well, yes. Okay. Well, we'll stay until they start looking really hungry. But yes, safety in numbers is true. It's a good point. Yeah, you see what you can find out. Let us know.
I'll go there and sort of head back to Twig and Vindaros and sort of linger behind and just watch him as well.
Hey, you're back. How'd you go?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're sort of the same mode as everyone else, I guess. Off the same mode now, but looking up going down the beach to, as you said, I'm not sure what's best. What do you think, Twig?
Wow. To me, problem number one seems to be the water. Everyone wants to get some water. Water is life.
What's the point of water when you got wine?
But what about when the wine runs out? Mr.
Pache's my name.
Pache.
Yeah.
Does it look rainy where we are?
Good point as well. I hadn't thought that far. The sky is still like fairly cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's gonna rain, at least in the next couple of hours, you don't think.
What are you thinking?
Me? I was just hoping it might rain sometime soon to be able to fill up some of the barrels, but if not, yeah, I mean, I don't know, it looks like Farrik and Razi always recruiting their own little bands. I'm not sure we're going to be able to keep everyone together. I'm not sure that we should, to be honest. I mean, I don't really know what to do here anyway.
That's true. Yeah. It seems like there would be a sort of a natural division of the more carnivorously inclined and the not so much. Mind you, I am a carnivore. But I wouldn't eat you.
I appreciate it.
Not saying that you don't look juicy.
You know what I heard? Apparently, in some carnivore societies, they don't eat sentience. But apparently it's not the case for those guys.
Yeah, that's true. They're just... I feel like... Yeah, we have to figure out, though, which way we want to go. Or where we want to go. Can't stay on this beach. You're right, Reti. There could be a chance that...
For sure.
Yeah. Hyenas might come.
I'll poke Vindaros and be like, that way or that way?
Sunrise. I don't think it's gonna rain. Vindaros gives that mug back to the raccoon. And just,
thanks, big guy. Oh my god, you drink a lot.
and he walks back to where the barrels are with his bucket because he wants to start handing out some fresh water and using some of the mastodons so no one charges the water supply, so small doses each.
Okay.
With some order, trying to do it with some order.
Yeah, you can do that at the moment with relative ease. Everyone is being pretty respectful towards you for helping them out of the cages, and people are not like starving or extremely thirsty. What is it when you're dying of thirst? Dehydrating? No.
Yeah, really parched.
Parched, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like pretty orderly, and yeah, they kind of line up, and they also see, of course, all these like big Macedonians. At one point, the next person in line is this warthog person, and he's like, thank you. I've been so thirsty. I can't drink salt water, you know. And he's speaking in Desert Common, so you can understand him.
Oh, tell me about it. Well, we should find a water supply shortly. I think water is definitely the gift of life. So we need to... I think AMA sent out a search party last night, so I'm not sure how they're going.
So so that was just earlier this morning, and they just kind of went out and found that there is like this kind of division between the plains and this this sort of coastal forest, and also found some flint and kind of put together these fires. But this warthog person says,
Also, we should just try to get out of this cold. It's freezing. I don't like it on this beach. You know, I used to be a builder. My name is Oobla. Oobla the builder. And,
Oobla, nice to meet you.
oh, nice to meet you too. What was your name?
Vindaros.
Vindaros. Good name. I think we should get out of this wind and find some kind of shelter. Of course, we couldn't build anything serious at the moment, but, I don't know. Some sort of... We could rig something up. It's freezing.
That does sound like a plan. I think we should put together another search party to go out for a wander and expand these horizons.
Well, Oobla more of a builder than a explorer, so good luck. I guess I'll stay here.
Thank you. Keep warm by the fire.
Thank you for the water.
So I'll just say with resting, you can of course take a short rest whenever you like. In order to take a long rest, you need to have food and water. So you've had water, but you need to have some food as well. And you can take a full rest as well, I will say, which is the rest that takes 3 days. Just when you're basically in the vicinity of this large group of refugees because of the safety the safety in numbers. But obviously sleeping now for 3 days where you don't have any water and food, well, it's up to you what you want to do, but but yeah. But sorry, I interrupted.
No,
Twig
that's good, like a short rest.
and Reti.
Because I might... Because we only have one hit die, don't we, on the short rest at level 1?
Yep.
Yeah, Vindaros will take the short rest. He wants to head out on an expedition just to see what he can find, again, shelter, water, out of the, you know, the winds that are barreling into him from the ocean.
Okay.
So I'll just take that short rest.
All right.
As well.
I was going to say, Twig, maybe you or one of our Simeon friends could climb up one of those trees on the edge of the forest and see if they could see any water or food or anything, or even any towns and everything nearby.
That is an excellent idea.
Okay.
I would like to, yes, make my way towards the trees. And do I have any, like, Tarsians amongst?
Yeah, there would be like a couple of other Tarsians sort of huddling around. I'll say in particular there is actually, because maybe some of these Tarsians are pretty nervous. They're not feeling as adventurous as you, but there is one lemur that is like,
Ooh.
I'll go with you. Where are you going? Are you going to climb some trees?
Yes. Yes. Do you like to climb trees?
Yes.
Well, excellent.
Also, I'll go anywhere to get away from those carnivores. Latharuth the lemur is my name. I'm quite
Latharuth.
tasty, don't you know? And I don't want them to know that, but I feel like maybe they do.
They may have an inkling, Latharuth the lemur.
Yes. Yes.
Come with me. We shall scale the trees, and we shall try and spot a cozy place, and with some water, preferably.
Okay, lead the way.
I will go towards the tree and climb.
Okay, so as you walk over in the direction of the forest, and you see, these trees kind of become increasingly dense as you approach the forest. It's like still some way before you would reach the sort of forest proper. But there's like a bunch of these like pines and redwoods here that are pretty tall, and so you can climb up one of these. You have a climb speed, and so would Lazarus. So you would be able to do that without having to make a check or anything. So you can climb one of these trees and attempt to. So you just want to look around. Maybe let me know. Let me think. The forest is in this direction, and so if you're climbing up a tree that's kind of in that direction, you would be able to see potentially into this hex and this hex.
Ooh, cool.
So which one of those hexes do you want to attempt to look into?
I like to look into this hex, south.
Okay, so give me a perception check as you
Alright.
climb up this tree and kind of try to stare into the distance. It's still like fairly dim.
Oh, advantage.
Okay, yep, you can roll again.
Okay. Oopsies.
It's pretty dim, and there is a fairly thick mist that has kind of started to begin rolling in off the water. It's probably been like by now maybe an hour and a half since the kind of rain stopped, and yeah, this mist is rolling in, and it's kind of rolling up these embankments and across these plains, and it's making it pretty difficult to see in the distance. And yeah, you just see these kind of rocky, kind of hilly grasslands with the occasional tree scattered around, but you can't make out enough of the ground to see whether there's like a small, like a creek or a brook or something. You can't tell.
Hey, Lazarus. Can you see anything?
What? Wait, yes. I mean, yes, lots of things. Trees and water. Lots of water. So much
Wait,
water.
you can see water?
Yeah, there.
He like points at the ocean.
Ah, Lazarus.
What? What? You said water.
That's the wrong way.
It's
the wrong way.
It's mesmerizing. I've never seen. I've never seen so much water. Okay, sorry. I do understand what we're trying to do. I'm sorry.
Okay. He like turns around in this tree, like and looks around. He's not, mind you, an actual lemur. He's a lemur folk. Although I may describe him as a lemur. You gotta picture him wearing like some kind of loincloth, maybe a ragged tunic of some kind.
Lovely tunic, Lazarus.
Thank you. Too much mist. Can't see anything.
I think we may have to investigate on foot.
I don't want to go back down there now. I prefer it up here. It's safe up here.
Well, okay. Well, do you know bird calls, Lazarus?
Bird calls?
Yes, like a warning call.
You mean like, ah, ah!
Yes, excellent. Your shrill voice is perfect for this job.
Oh, thank you.
If you see anything approaching us towards the beach, like some wild creature,
Sharks?
you make that noise. Yeah.
Whales?
maybe land creatures, you know, that roam the plains,
Wow. Okay.
that have legs.
I understand. I was just joking. I'll call out my shrill bird song and let you know if I see
But no
anything.
jokes, Lazarus, no jokes.
No jokes. By the way, I'm very hungry. Do you have any food?
Do I have any food? Do I have any food?
I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't have any food. I do have this little pouch. No, these coins that I put on this leather that are on this leather string. You can chew
Shiny.
on this leather if you wish. Lazarus,
No thanks. Sounds gross.
I'll bring you some food when I can get some. How's that?
Yes, that sounds good. Latharuth says, look out. Need food to be look out.
Oh, I feel bad leaving Lazarus. Like, all right, guys, come down.
What?
I'll get you some food. Then you can go out and be a lookout.
But how do I know that Latharuth will get food? Latharuth won't become food.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I did this. Okay, I'll get you some food. All right,
Anyway,
I'll go down.
what about that direction over there? You didn't scrutinize that other direction.
What other direction?
The other one. This one. Or is that the one you did? This one.
Yeah. Oh, great spotting, Lazarus.
I was, you told me to see if I could spot anything. I spotted you. Not spotting anything.
Ah, Lazarus.
Which one
Very
did you
good.
look? Which one did you look at? This one or this one?
That one. I looked at south.
Okay.
I would like to look in the southwesterly direction.
You can give me another perception check.
Thank you, Lazarus.
In this direction, some of the fog is, you know, sort of unable to creep forth into the forest, or at least it's, you know, sort of being, you know, it's kind of dissipating a little bit as it passes through these trees, and so you feel like you can get like a little bit of a better glimpse in that direction, although it is pretty dark as the trees become more dense. But you feel like you can see in this direction a little bit better, and you don't see any evidence of any kind of stream or creek or anything in this direction.
Okay. Well, I don't see anything, but maybe that is still information. Perhaps we should search the plains.
Seems plain enough.
Okay, I'll come back down, and I guess I'll explain this to Reti. Oh God.
I see.
Okay, I'll explain to
I
Reti,
see.
but I'll come
I
back
see you
up
walking
again.
on the ground on your legs.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's like,
I'm just kidding. I'm not that stupid. All right. I'll be right here.
sorry, go on.
No more jokes. Yes. Explain to Reti what I saw.
It's worrying a little bit, but maybe you'll find out the best course of action.
I will also try to impart this knowledge to Vindaros, and maybe like mime walking, searching, drinking.
Give me a performance check.
Vindaros is going to offer Twig, my little friend, a bucket of water.
Thank you. Wait.
You're pretty intelligible.
Vindaros will like to leave the other mastodons in charge of handing up the water and organize with AMA to like start heading out to search to find possibly an estree. These hexes, how large are they? Do you have these in your rules just to give us an understanding?
You feel
Are they
that
kilometers long, or
you feel that you can see. I mean, you don't know what kilometers are, but I'll just say, just so we can picture it, that you can see about 5 kilometers away.
okay? I would definitely like to start gathering my gear to head out
Okay.
by foot.
And Brigoska kind of
Picking
says, "I will stay here and try to keep the rabble in line."
Thank you. And signal to Twig just to like lead the way with one hand, like shuffling along.
Very good. I shall walk into the plains.
All right, so you're going to scout in the plains to see if you can find a water source of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So which direction do you walk in?
Actually, can Vindaros pick up Twig and place him on his shoulder, since he might have trouble in the grass of the plains, to give it to assist? Since he's 2.1 meters tall.
Yeah, so I mean,
My God,
like,
you're enormous.
how much do you weigh, Twig?
I think mastodons can carry. They've got the next size up, so it's
Yeah,
like 2.5
yeah.
times their standard.
Yeah, you've got this powerful build.
I don't know. A meter tall, maybe like 30 kg?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'd be able to lift Twig up. I'm just trying to work out how it would affect you, but that's okay. I'll say for now anyway that, like, yeah, that's fine. But it might affect you, you know, if we come into combat or any kind of situation where there's like some mechanical effect of it.
Okay.
Oh, and
that?
Twig, don't forget to put your gold in your inventory.
Yes. Where is that? Oh, inventory.
In the
Alright.
second tab down, you can just like enter it in those top fields.
Is the leftmost platinum? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I just had an image of Twig on Vindaros' shoulder like a kid, like a 2-year-old, just holding on to his ears. So I was looking at my profile picture. Standing on your shoulders.
All right. So, which direction do you want to walk in?
So the direction south I couldn't see because it was covered by mist, and southwest I couldn't see any water.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so then I want to go south, and I would like to go carefully.
Okay.
Keep an ear out for Latharuth or anything else.
Vindaros points to Latharuth in the tree, like, as he's walking past. He's like,
Already was I want to.
Also, lemurs are terrifying looking.
I guess he might think that Twig's like king of the jungle, like riding an elephant. A mastodon through the wild.
Onwards!
All right. So you head south. And let me just see what you find.
Come on, Babbling Brook.
Okay. So, as you walk into the mist, you kind of walk over the crest of this small hill, and it leads down fairly steeply, and becomes quite rocky, and then sort of leads up another hill. And it's actually like quite difficult to traverse in this direction. As you're kind of like walking down this second hill, and it's like fairly unstable, you're kind of like slipping and sliding and sort of struggling to, you know, keep up a good pace. What speed do you attempt to move at, by the way? Are you going to sort of try to move slowly and you know, Twig, you said you were kind of keeping an eye out, or do you want to, you know, are you keen to find a water source and so you're moving quite quickly?
I vote for slowly, but
If Vindaros notices it's going to be difficult to navigate, he would actually naturally just put Twig down.
Okay.
And once it's clear, if Twig allows it, pick him up, put him back on again. I'll say Vindaros will be moving with caution through terrain which is unstable for sure.
Okay. So it probably takes you let me see.
Maybe the smaller climbing folk might get through it quicker, but he'll definitely be cautious.
Okay.
And
sorry.
also keep an eye out as we go for like signs of like larger wildlife, like things like tracks or just like in head brushes or claw marks or anything like that.
Okay, maybe everyone give me a perception check.
oh, can I do it at advantage?
Yeah.
These ugly guys. I'll fix that.
All right, so it probably takes you about 2 hours to traverse through this kind of a hilly, sort of unstable. It's still grassy. You can kind of like, as you're sort of going up and down some of these hills, you're able to sort of grab onto some of these grasses to balance yourself. Let me just... Yeah, you aren't being particularly perceptive. You don't see much, but this kind of mist does sort of begin to disappear as you kind of walk down here, and you kind of climb up another one of these hills, and as you're climbing up you hear this sound, this like
Oh my.
Can Vindaros try to identify what's going on with his hearing? Because he does have sensitive ears.
Ooh.
Well, you can kind of hear just this like loud snarling and shouting sound, this kind of thumping around that's sort of echoing out of the next little just from the other side of this hill.
So we know which direction it's coming in from? Like, okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
everyone hears
directly south from you. And everyone hears it except for Reti, who's not paying much attention. No, probably as you get closer to this, everyone hears it anyway. Yeah, it's pretty loud. It's coming directly from before you.
Okay, I was going to say, Vindaros takes out his spear and is approaching quietly, slowly, with his spear out in both hands.
Give me a stealth check.
Cool. Sorry, Twig, you were going to say something?
No. Oh well. Do the cries sound like they're in pain at all, or is it more of an aggressive?
It sounds aggressive.
Okay.
All right. As you're like attempting to move quietly, you kind of stumble a little bit as you're like climbing up this hill and these rocks, and you kind of dislodge some of these stones. They kind of go tumbling down the hill. It doesn't make too much noise. It's still like a grassy hill, but you kind of hear this like, and you like all kind of freeze for a moment, and then as you're like freezing, all of a sudden, Reti, the thing that you were keeping your eyes out for, some wildlife, suddenly just bursts over the crest of this hill in your direction. Multiple horses, wild horses, just suddenly just come running up this hill in your direction and just like run past you, all around you, and then just run down the other side of the hill and like keep running the other direction. And none of them run into you or cause you any harm. Maybe you can, you sort of have to like grab on a little bit. But then this kind of like roaring and stomping sound kind of changes to a sound of like, and as you kind of like crawl up towards the top of this hill, you can sort of like peer over the hill, and on the other side of this hill, as you look down, you see actually what looks like some kind of small trail or something. And standing on this trail is this huge, like 10 to 11 foot tall creature. And you've never seen a creature like this before. It is furless, and it has this long black hair on its head, and this greenish grey leathery skin, and these long sharp fingers and pointed ears, and it's dressed in rags and furs, and it is just like holding this wild horse in its two hands and just eating it, tearing the flesh out of it.
Backing up.
Back away. Back away.
You can back away pretty easily. This thing, whatever it is just seems to be pretty preoccupied, like tearing into this horse, and it doesn't notice you.
Is it bipedal?
Yes.
Okay. And did you say it has fur on its face?
No, it is like furless, which is like,
furless.
like fairly unusual. Well, there would be like hippopotamus folk and Macedonian. I guess it's like without wanting to break immersions, it's basically like a giant sort of monstrous human-looking thing. You don't know what a human is, but that's what you see.
You said he was on the trail.
Yeah, it's standing on.
Lead anywhere in particular, like directly behind him, off to the side?
The trail is leading. It is leading to. Let me see. It's kind of leading it's leading in two different directions. It's leading towards the like southwest. It kind of seems to be like kind of crossing from like down here up to up here, up towards the northeast, from what you're able to tell.
Okay, and
So
whereabouts
from like
was
the
that
south
creature?
to the northeast. The creature is just like directly
There?
before you, within the hex that you're in.
Oh, within the hex. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely backing down from this hill.
Maybe the other way.
The other way sounds like a good idea to me.
So I guess here?
Vindaros will like nudge Twig forward. As in
Go.
which direction you would like to go, and you follow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Vindaros also is just thinking to himself, geez, that all those carnivores will like that pack of horses we just sent them.
Yeah, well, they kind of went riding probably in a sort of a northwesterly direction.
Yeah, I'd like to head towards this face.
Towards the forest.
Yeah. So. Yeah, here.
Okay. All right. So you've been climbing over these hills. I mean, not climbing, and just sort of trudging over them. And okay. You head towards this forest, where this coastal forest starts to get denser. And the landscape starts to get a little bit easier as you move in this direction. And you probably travel for maybe this time only an hour and a half.
Along the way,
Yep.
I'm not sure how this will work. Can Vindaros have a look to see if any of this vegetation is suitable for food? Like if he's
Yeah.
like a sample pot of grasses?
So you can yeah, so like grasses themselves, you know, like your digestive system is like more complicated than just or less complicated as a case that maybe than an elephant. So you would need like something a bit more than grass, but you can keep an eye out as you're walking. You can also like search this area, which would take you a fair bit of time. Which would you prefer to do?
I think keep that option open. Maybe when he gets closer to the forest, and there might be some appetizing vegetation that he might want to dip into.
Okay. And
It's like a sample plate.
What speed do you go? As you're kind of looking out, do you sort of slow down so you can have a look out for some vegetation that might be edible, or?
Not quite yet.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Okay. Yeah, as this kind of hilly area sort of settles down a bit as you kind of head towards these trees, you keep an eye out, and you feel that you know, if there were anything that were kind of growing in amongst these grasses and trees that were edible, you would have a good chance of spotting it. It's like just around midday, maybe a little bit after midday now. But you don't see anything that looks particularly edible to you. And so you move in this direction by another 5 kilometers. And you pass the edge of these trees. And you head into the forest. And yeah, this is just this kind of mixed forest. There's like broadleaf trees, deciduous trees, kind of mixed in with these trees that are just, you know, sort of skeletal trees that have lost all of their leaves, and there's this, you know, like ground cover of just all of this kind of rotting dead leaves, and also some sort of shrubs and various bits of foliage around. And as you begin to trek into this forest, you don't see anything immediately. It's not like the darkest forest ever. You can kind of, you know, there's some like sunlight filtering in through the canopy. You can still see like relatively well. But yeah, you don't see anything yet.
Any tracks? No tracks?
Do you want to just sort of like have a look for tracks as you're walking?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
You can give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I need to roll at advantage.
19. I'll say that as you begin walking through these trees, you do notice a couple of places where some of the branches, low-lying branches have been, just a couple of them have been like snapped off. And some of this sort of rotten like leaf cover and foliage seems to have been slightly kind of disrupted.
Can I follow where that might lead?
If you kind of like look around long enough, you might kind of, yeah, be able to sort of triangulate a direction that you think. Give me an insight check.
No.
It's like pretty hard for you to triangulate a direction.
Okay. Should we keep walking?
Yes. Yes.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I guess like this direction?
Which direction, sorry?
This one?
Okay.
As we're walking through the forest, Vindaros wants to place any loose branches in the direction that they walked in every now and again. Like pretty much, yeah.
Like you want to sort of leave a trail.
Leave a trail, correct.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, one that Vindaros identifies. It's not a stick saying in Desert Common.
Vindaros was here.
Yeah, Vindaros was here.
Okay. You can do that pretty easily. And you begin to move into this forest, and you travel for probably something like, you're just traveling at normal speed, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's no longer like slippery and everything.
Yes, but it does get, you know, it's more difficult to sort of walk in here than it is to walk in the plains, given, you know, all of this undergrowth and the trees and everything. So you probably walk for approximately 2 hours. And let me see. And so you walk for another 5 kilometers in this direction. And as you're trudging through here, you spot something. Maybe Vindaros, like as you're kind of, you know, snapping a branch to, you know, sort of mark where you've been, you see something that just looks like another very tall figure of some kind through the trees. And you're not sure what it is, but you don't hear anything, you don't see anything moving.
Vindaros definitely puts a hand in front of his companions and just points forward. Can he hear anything? As in, is there a change in, if there was birds previously, is there still wildlife in this area? Like anything unusual?
Give me a perception check.
Can I use advantage since he has keen hearing?
Yes.
Cool.
You can still hear these birds chirping. You know, it's like, it's very cold. There's probably not like a huge number of birds chirping anyway. But you've been like paying attention as you've been walking through this forest, and you don't hear anything that signifies any particular sudden change or anything like that.
Okay.
Do you continue to move towards this statue? I just called it a statue.
I was going to say, is it a statue?
As you creep towards this figure, you notice that it doesn't move at all, and you're pretty sure that this is a statue.
Well, I've never seen a statue before.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, as a nomad, like your people probably wouldn't have built statues, I guess. So yeah, maybe not. But this thing's not moving at all, and I've already given it away, but you know, you kind of like listen around and cautiously creep up to this thing, and it is just this huge stone statue. It's pretty cool that this came up. It is about the same height as that monstrous humanoid that you saw, like 10 or 11 feet tall. And it is just standing, very erect and like pointing. And it's pointing towards the southwest. And as you kind of look over in that direction through the trees, you see that there's a sudden incline in the forest. Almost like just a few meters away from where this statue is, and it's like pointing directly into this incline.
What species is the statue, if we recognize it?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Trying to think why I even really asked for a check. You don't recognize this. Well, I will say that maybe with your good memory of the history of only a few hours ago, seeing that monstrous creature eating the horse, you at least don't feel like this doesn't really look like that thing. It's like this statue's made out of stone as well, by the way, I forgot to mention. I think. Big stone statue. And it is like holding a spear and wearing like some kind of helm and maybe even like armor. And its posture's different. It looks like this kind of proud individual. So you can at least identify that it's not that. It doesn't look like that other thing that you saw, even though it's about the same size. But otherwise, you've never seen a creature as tall as that other thing, and neither of you have seen a statue of a creature as tall as this thing.
Is there any engravings on the statue? The base, if it's on the plinth? Or...
No, you don't find anything like that. The statue is like pretty worn, and you can kind of scrape away some of the, maybe there's some vines and it probably wouldn't be, maybe there'd be like a bit of moss and stuff like that on the base of it. You can kind of scrape it away, but you don't find any engraving. Maybe it's worn away.
I'm asking a
you're
lot
not
of questions. Has in front of the statue, does it look like someone's actually used it as a shrine, like placed a candle, old fruit, flowers?
Not on the statue itself. You don't see anything like that.
Okay.
Is it clothed?
Yes, it's wearing probably like some kind of kilt, or maybe more like a toga or something like that. But it is also wearing this armor. It's got these pauldrons, and it's kind of worn away. Like it looks like it's very ancient. So it's hard to determine exactly what it's wearing, but it seems to be armored, clothed, and wearing this helm and carrying a spear and pointing.
And towards the incline, is there a path or trail in that direction?
You don't see anything like that.
Okay.
It's like a cliff, this incline?
It's pretty steep. It's nearly a cliff. You can kind of look down, and it would be maybe like not that, like, I don't know, 20 meters or something like that. Do you look down this cliff?
Yes.
It's interesting you said that, because when you said incline, I actually thought and went up. Let's go rocket up.
Oh yeah, I guess it's a decline.
Down.
Sorry, a decline? Yeah, you're right. Is that what you would say?
Cliff.
A cliff. You're right. Sorry, that was misleading. Not an incline. A cliff.
A cliff edge. Ah, interesting.
Yeah, what do we say if you look over the
Oh, actually, if someone's going towards that cliff edge and Vindaros notices them walking, he hands him one of the rope, like that rope that he was carrying.
Good idea.
And he just wraps it around himself and passes the other end.
As you wrap this rope around you and you look over this incline, you come face to face with a creature. In fact, multiple creatures that are climbing up. Sorry, I keep calling it an incline. climbing up this cliff. And they're only a few meters away. You look over the edge and you just see these creatures that are climbing up this cliff face towards you. They're kind of grabbing onto like roots and rocks and things. It's not like a straight cliff, it's just a very steep decline. And these creatures, the couple of them that you can see directly down below you are these, they have these, they have like dark fur or skin and these like long snouts, and they have all of these spines coming out on their back, and they're dressed in these kind of like fur cloaks, and they have these like shields. One of them kind of has a shield strapped to its back, and it's trying to like climb up this incline, and it's like carrying this spear, and there's a couple of them climbing up, and they're moving very quickly, and as you kind of look at these things, they look like they have fear in their eyes. Do you do anything?
How do they react when they see us?
As they look up at you, they kind of freeze. And as one of them like freezes and looks to the other one, like, or one of the other ones, there's probably like 4 of them. Like, oh shit, like, you know, what do we do? Like, it's pretty easy to read this thing's face. You just all of a sudden see this one that's closest to you just get like pulled down off this incline, and it just gets pulled off the incline and just goes like plummeting down backwards and like smashes into these rocks as it like rolls down the incline. And you see this creature that has pulled it down that is climbing up behind it. This thing, you've heard of these things in the past. They would exist on your continent as well. It is this kind of very unusual creature with these beady black eyes and these like mandibles, and it's got like antennae and all of these like kind of chitinous like armor-like pieces on its body. This thing, it's basically like a beetle creature. And it's pretty small, but both of these creatures are small. And yeah, it just sort of pulls off one of these, essentially like an echidna folk, and it just plummets to its death. And this thing behind it is just like, and like kind of begins like climbing up as well. And you see that there are a few of these other creatures that are climbing up behind these echidna folk.
Vindaros passes the whip down to him to assist them coming up. So when they grab on with one hand, like fishing, to assist them.
All right.
Gonna do the same with the quarterstaff.
Okay, cool. So you can assist a couple of these echidna folk climb up. Maybe Reti, as one of these echidna folk is like kind of holding on to your quarterstaff. Actually, give me an athletics check, Reti. I think Vindaros. Give me an athletics check with advantage. Well, actually, I don't know if that makes sense. You would have more athletics on your character sheet. Yeah, just both give me a flat athletics check, please. Ooh. See-through dice. Alright. Oh, it kind of like looked a little bit transparent. Okay. I will say that is enough in both cases to kind of help these creatures up. You sort of, both of you struggle a little bit. But maybe in, let me see. In Vindaros's case, as this echidna folk is trying to climb up, it just gets stabbed in the back by one of these insectoids, and it's just like, and it's trying to like climb up as it's sort of, as the life goes out of its eyes, and it kind of like lets go of this whip, and this other creature just like climbs up like really quick. And is just standing before you. And a couple of these other insectoid creatures like stand up as well. And one of them begins like clashing with this echidna folk, and as it is like fighting this echidna folk, the others turn on you. So I'll take us over to the battle map. And
You know better than that, Adrian. It's a negotiation map.
Does this seem like a negotiation to you?
okay, I'll put you guys on here. And this decline is like here. And you know, this is probably like the statue, like here. It's like something like that. And can everyone see this?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. And you know, there's like trees around. Ooh, lovely tree there. Whoa!
Very postmodern.
All right. And there is one of these echidna folk standing here. And as these creatures kind of are pulled up onto this, you know, onto your level, you see that this echidna folk is the only one now that survives. And it kind of falls backwards as this insectoid creature stands before it. Maybe arrange yourself like wherever you want, kind of wherever you imagine you would be within, like, you know, this area.
Are they... Can we understand anything that the echidna folk are saying? Does Vindaros recognize?
You hear it call out, but no, it's in some language that you don't recognize.
Okay.
But yeah, you hear it say something that you do think is like language. So you are able to identify that. In fact, yeah, you don't know its language. So I'll put us in the initiative tracker. But then maybe what we should do is take a 5-minute break. Seeing as we're halfway.
Yeah, sounds good.
But yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. And I think that order should be maintained. So, yeah. See you in 5 minutes.
Cool. Sweet.
It's in-
Vindaros.
Vindaros would just like to use his body weight and kick that insectoid off back where it came from. Just a big oof, like body kick.
Nice. Okay, give me
Backwards.
an athletics check.
Okay.
And you gotta beat 8. Shouldn't be too hard.
Well, who knows?
Ugh, okay.
Wow.
You kick him backwards 5 feet, and he is basically going to go tumbling down this hill. Interesting.
And he spins his spear out.
Let me see. Yes. So, as you kick him and you see him just kind of like, you know, it just takes it in the chest. It's like, it kind of like flies backwards and these wings come out of its back.
Oh, what?
The wings don't appear to be enough to to allow it to fly, but it drifts downwards fairly slowly. So you don't think this fall is going to kill it. Anything else?
No, I just get my spear out.
Okay. All right. This creature here is just going to kind of skitter over here. It's like holding this large flint knife, and it is going to just try to stab at Vindaros. And it hits for 2 damage, 2 piercing damage.
Okay.
I gotta turn that sound off every time it changes. Are you guys hearing that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that wasn't intended. It's some module that I've added. Okay. This creature is going to run at Reti. And it is going to... It's just like... These mandibles are just kind of like... And it just tries to kind of like launch at you and bite you. Misses. Twig.
Okay, I think Twig is gonna move away and hold his leather pouch and move his hands and cast Mage Armor.
Alright. So, with Mage Armor, just before we move on to Reti, I used to be able to add Mage Armor and it would automatically adjust your DC, but I don't know if it would, if it will still... No, it doesn't look like it's done it. So I might have to fix that, but just keep in mind
My...
that, what is it, 14?
Yep.
Okay, Reti.
Reti is going to cast Shillelagh with his previously prepared.
But you find that your mistletoe is gone. No, I'm just kidding. You've still.
Oh no!
But that could have happened.
Shit.
All right.
And yeah, he's just going to attack the one in between us, I think.
Okay. Oh, miss. As it's stabbing at Vindaros, it kind of sees you attempt to like hit it with this big stick, kind of crackling with energy, and it's just like kind of ducks out of the way just in time. Okay, you don't see what happens here, but this thing is going to begin climbing up this wall. How far did I say it was? Like 20 meters? So,
Forget.
I think I said 20 meters. So it is like 4 meters up, but it's going to dash, so it'll be 9 meters up. You're not really close enough to see so yeah, you don't know about that. Okay, this Echidna folk is going to kind of swing around as this combat begins, and it is going to attempt to, let me see. It just makes like a couple of quick jabs at this insectoid with its flint spear. It hits it. And it's carrying a shield as well. Hits it for 7.
Your dice rolls are private.
Oh, cool. No, that wasn't intentional. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay,
thanks,
cool.
Thanks for letting me know.
No, it's okay.
And it will now make another attack. And it hits it again. And this one just goes like straight through this beetle-like insectoid's chest, and it just coughs up this like green blood as it is like impaled on this this echidna folk creature's spear. What the hell is that? I've never seen that icon before. I installed like this new module today because I was trying to solve this issue, and I think it's done like a bunch of random shit that I don't really want it to do.
Very tribal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, this echidna folk creature, it looks over at the rest of you. It looks at Vindaros. It looks at these beetle-like insectoids, and then it turns and it just runs away in this direction. And it runs off into the forest and disappears. Vindaros.
I think that's probably quite fair.
Muted.
I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, to attack the one to the left of him.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Miss.
In turn.
Okay. Alright, this one is going to, as it sort of just ducks out of the way, it tries to like just shank you in the side. Oh.
Oh.
5 piercing. And this one is going to try to... It's holding a flint knife as well. It's going to try to stab Reti. And misses. The knife just kind of like grazes off your shell. You sort of like move around slightly maybe and it's... Okay, Twig.
Ah, shit.
It is kind of exciting, that sound. But I don't need it to happen like every time I step between combatants. This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
crap.
miss.
Damn it. Okay. That's all I can do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. This ghostly hand kind of... You sort of lose concentration as you're trying to cast it, and it sort of like fades away. It's not quite strong enough to get this insectoid sort of like, you know, like waves its like knife at it and kind of it kind of dissipates. Anything else?
Burn a sec. No.
Okay, ready.
Shillelagh. Same one.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
This one?
Yep.
Misses again. And it's just like...
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, this one is going to continue climbing. And... You can see it like kind of putting like its like little clawed hand just over the edge. Like you just hear it just going like, and it just kind of, you see it like climbing up, but it's like 1 meter away. This guy is no longer in the combat. Okay, Vindaros.
Vindaros, once again, with his spear, attacking the same one to the left.
All right.
Oh, gee, sorry. Something came up. It was like, it's a bit weird. It's like usability, like it was a usage. That's okay. I just gave it a 1.
Yeah, it's because the spear. Yeah, I should remove that in your case. It's because like when it's because you might have multiple spears, and so you might be like throwing one of them. But it's generally really only something that I need for like NPCs to have.
True.
Let me just see if I can remove that. Yeah, because you just have like 1 spear. Ah, shit. I've had that thing happen where my fucking game crashes. So just give me 2 seconds to log out real quick and log back in. This will kick you out, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
The world is shutting down. Game over, man.
We won!
You'll get reset to full HP, right?
It's really annoying. That thing.
It's weird how it keeps happening.
I've done
Like
everything.
mysterious.
It was the same on my other computer, like completely different system. Had the same issue. Did everything I could to resolve it. Could never resolve it. Eventually, it seemed to stop happening. And now it's back on this computer, and I don't know why. And yeah, it's fucking annoying. When you're back in Vindaros, what were you doing?
Attacked with 14. Does a 14 hit.
Oh yeah, 14 hits.
Yeah. Finally we rolled over a 10. Bang.
Go, Vindaros, go.
9 piercing. Alright. You just kill this thing immediately.
And you just see this like rage come out from Vindaros as he like stabs his spear through him. It's like,
All this green blood just sprays everywhere. All over like the shaft of the spear and on your hands and stuff. Anything else?
I'll just I'll move into that position there
Okay.
and turn.
Let me just remove that thing so it doesn't... Okay. Okay, this one kind of sees you step forward, but it's pretty much engaged with Reti, so it's just going to try to shank you again. Misses. Twig.
Can I see if this guy's hurt at all?
You can't see that creature very well. It's not quite... It's like a meter away from the edge.
Alright.
So no, you're not able to tell.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it with my ghostly hand again.
Alright. That one hits.
Yeah!
This... are you targeting this one?
No, this one.
This one you can't see.
Oh, I can't see.
I mean, I
sorry,
kind of did
sorry.
describe it as like, you know, you kind of see like its hand coming up over the edge. It was really just flavor, I think. Well, I mean,
okay.
you can...
So then
also,
this guy-
you can
this
target
guy.
the hand, but it will have like a lot of
okay, no.
cover.
I'll go for this guy. I don't want hand-on-hand, like, combat. Okay?
The ghostly hand just like helps it up. Like what the fuck?
No!
Or just pulls out like his finger like off the edge.
Actually, hold on. You create a ghostly skeletal hand. The space of a creature within range.
24 meters?
It's in range. I mean, it still is like an attack. So yeah, you still got to be able to see it.
Right. Yeah.
There's a mastodon in your way as well.
Yeah. Also, though, this one here is going to get a little bit of cover from Reti. It would still get a little bit of cover from Reti. Okay. Probably in future, if you cast the spell before moving, we'll have to go with that. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I don't
Okay.
know. Okay, but 14. Nice, yeah, the 14 hits. Okay, so it's going to take 6 necrotic damage. Yeah, it kind of like turns in your direction and like spits, and this kind of green like green sort of blood mixed with this like sort of black like bile and ooze like kind of drips out of its mouth as it kind of looks at you and realizes that you are responsible for this necrotic sort of rotting pain that it's feeling.
Run away. Enter.
Okay. Ready.
I grasp my lucky clover in my left hand. Alright. I ukulele once again.
Come on. Yes!
Yes!
Nice. You easily slay this one. You just crush its head in with your stick. Wait, are you using a quarterstaff?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah.
It's a
Oh no, wait, it's a club.
what would say club, yeah.
Club.
Stick.
Like a spiked stick. Okay. Alright, this thing is going to climb up all the way now. And it's going to, let me see. Ooh, you've got it cornered here on the edge.
So,
What is
question.
it?
Would he take of like unarmed damage if I kicked him before to the chest? I didn't roll damage for it, just the attack.
I mean, I took it as a shove because
Like a
otherwise,
shove,
otherwise an attack wouldn't like push it backwards unless it had like a
that
specific
makes
reason
sense.
to. Did I misread it though? I think you was kind of yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to push him off.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, probably not. I think. But yeah, good point. Okay, so this one comes up and it's just immediately in close quarters with both of you, and it is going to attempt to. Just as it climbs up, it bites Vindaros. Tries to bite your leg. But misses.
Yeah, definitely with the spear, he's just going straight for the chunky parts. Hopefully he hits.
That hits. Did it remove that dialogue from the spear, by the way?
It did,
It should-
thanks.
Okay, cool. How do you kill this beetle-like insectoid?
As he impales the insectoid, he just picks him up off the ground on his spear, and then it slowly slides off the edge and backwards down the decline.
Awesome.
Your spear.
Nice. And we're out of combat.
Whew.
Vindaros would like to have a look at these bodies, the three that are left up here.
Okay.
If he can loot the bodies.
Alright. Let me see. What have these guys got on them?
The kidnap bodies too, right?
No, that... Oh yeah, that's true. There would be 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, one I stepped on.
No, and a echidna one.
Oh, the echidna one, yeah.
But there'd probably be like one of those. One of them ran off, and then maybe there's another 2 that are like down the bottom of the cliff. So let me see. So firstly, these creatures, they all have flint knives on them, and they all have slings on them. So you can take those if you wish.
Oh, I'd like to take a sling.
Yeah.
Okay. So Twig, I'll give you a sling and some sling pellets, some bullets. And was that ready?
Well, actually, maybe not.
Okay.
He's not the stingly type. He's
He's not
If we
the
could-
slingly type.
Definitely, if we could carry those back, see what's available, Vindaros will take them back to camp.
Okay.
Even though they might not use them themselves, but to help arm the members.
Okay, I will give you. How many of these creatures? Yeah, I'll give you like 4 slings, and Twig's got the other one. And then these sling bullets, I will say that you have something around. Let's say you have 25 of them. Okay. Let's see what else they have. Well, actually, hold on. Let me do these echidna folk as well. Are you going to sort of climb down this cliff? Well, so there's one of these echidna folk up here. Well, let's just do what's up here first, actually, maybe. This creature, you can kind of go through. You find on it this flint spear, and it's also carrying another sling and a shield. Does anyone take any of those things?
Vindaros will definitely pick up the shield.
All right.
If no one else is interested in that.
Shield. And you can equip the shield by just using that little shield symbol to the right of the shield. Stop saying shield. Did you want this sling as well? Do you have another sling?
Yeah, look, it might sound greedy, but definitely take it back.
Okay. And I'll give you another, let's say now you have 32 sling bullets. Okay. You also find you find one of these, I'll say that you find on the echidna folk a lump of pyrite, some fool's gold.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey, look, gold.
Useless. You can't light fires with gold. Okay, and let me see. Alright. Okay. And you probably find a little bit of what looks valuable to you. I mean, where you're from, you don't really have money. You would, live in pretty small communities where if you needed to have, what do you call it, like a medium of accounting? I forget like the terminology, but you know what I mean. You would probably, most of the people in your tribe. You might have some agreements with them, maybe some sort of rudimentary form of writing that would allow you to kind of note down some of these things. Especially Twig, you would have learnt writing from your master. But anyway, these things, you don't know what they are exactly, but you get the impression that they are valuable and they're certainly shiny. You find 27 of these gold rings. So just basically gold pieces. And you find 5 shells that look very beautiful.
So pretty.
And perhaps especially Reti, you would, I don't know if you're really like a beach, you kind of like lived in the jungle maybe by like a river or a lake or something. Yeah, so maybe you wouldn't have any idea either, but these shells are just basically copper pieces. So 5 copper pieces. I mean, you don't really know that, but you can kind of go like, oh, these look valuable.
I'll hold on to these valuables, if you trust me. Or we could split them, I guess.
I trust you. I've never been much of the type myself. Just keep them away from Shannon. I trust that fella.
Good point. Good point.
You don't find anything else up here at the top of this decline.
Do any of these guys have like a bag or satchel of some sort that they used to carry their stuff? I don't have one of those.
No, these rings that you find are just sort of tied to these like pieces of rope or leather. And well, let me think actually. Let me have a look at what they got. Like, I mean, these like insectoids are just kind of carrying basically these slings and these knives. And this echidna folk. Yeah, I'm gonna say no, unfortunately.
Do they have any rations on them? Like stuffed in their pockets or anything?
You don't find rations on any of these ones.
Do we know what the statue's pointing at?
It looks like it's just pointing just towards this incline. Sorry. I don't know why I call it an incline. This steep slope downwards. This downward steep slope. It looks like it's just pointing in that direction. Almost as though there was a time when these trees weren't here, perhaps. It's kind of pointing, like directly horizontally, as if maybe it's some far away in that direction.
Can we see like further? Like, or is there too many trees sort of blocking this path of the finger?
You can attempt to look in the direction that it's pointing and sort of see further away. Yeah, there are a lot of trees, especially where you are now. You're kind of like further up, but not all the way to the canopy. Some of these trees would be like probably 30 meters in height, maybe even more. So yeah, it would be difficult, but you can kind of try to have a look. Which direction did I say this thing was pointing? Was it this way? Hold on, let me
Northwest, wasn't it?
let me take us back to here. Was it northwest?
Actually.
I can't remember.
I
Southwest.
thought it was southwest.
Pointed
Nice.
to southwest, yeah.
Nice. Let me just make a note of that.
Did any of us take the pyrite?
I didn't give it to anyone.
Oh, can I take it? Or I mean, for everyone? To make sure we have it.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Probably just put it in your inventory yourself. I don't have like a pyrite.
Oh, okay, cool.
Would you be amenable to me using a flint spear as a quarterstaff instead of the club that I have?
When you say use it as a quarterstaff, what do you mean?
I say whack people with it instead of stabbing.
I would say that it's not really designed for that. You would probably find that if you did that, it would break pretty easily. You can try it, but I think I would probably call it an improvised attack.
Okay.
You didn't end up with a quarterstaff? I thought there were like a million quarterstaffs on the beach.
I think I did.
That was a lot.
Let me double check my inventory. Probably not.
Wait, I think I might have a quarterstaff.
If you have one, then I'm sure I have one. I think I just
Yeah,
looked at
if
my
you-
inventory.
If you want one, like, I got you, Just say the word.
I have club room. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have one. It'll be right.
Do you want to give yours to... Twig, do you want to give yours to Reti?
Yeah, I can give mine to Reti.
Okay.
Jen and Twig.
Quarterstaff should see that now.
Oh, what a weight off my back. Oh.
Otherwise, it's sometime in the afternoon. You know that there are still these corpses down below, about 20 meters down. It's pretty steep, but yeah, you feel like it would be a little bit difficult to get down there, but, you know, not impossible or anything. Just a bit, you know, you might sprain an ankle.
No. I'll look over and see if there's any signs or sounds of any other creatures around below.
Give me a perception check. You don't notice anything.
Looks clear to me.
Vindaros has tied the rope around him as an anchor, and he's offering the rope to someone if they want to take it.
I'm happy to go down too. Up to you.
Okay. I'll protect the rear.
Look at Vindaros, like, it'll be like, are you sure? Like, I don't know if I weigh too much or if I've started tired, I'll be like, alright, I'll make my way down. Sounds like a yes to me.
Okay, we'll do one at a time.
Yes.
I'll leave some myself.
If there's also a tree stump.
Yes. Sorry. Tree stump.
Yeah, I could anchor the rope as well.
The
Body weight.
statue.
No, we're gonna like deface an ancient statue that's been standing for like 2,000 years.
or measure the rope length and look at the statue, and by the time it goes off the cliff, there's like a meter left because it's so far back.
Yeah, so because let me see. So the rope is 15 meters. I mean, it actually won't make it all the way down the cliff. So if you tie it around something, it won't make it all the way down. You can kind of dangle it off the edge and see that is the case.
Yeah, I'll make my way down anyway. I guess the rope can hang there and I can use it to get myself back and help myself down.
Okay, so if we do Reti first, Vindaros, give me a athletics check.
Okay.
Okay, and Reti, also give me an athletics check as you climb down. Nice, you are able to make your way down pretty safely and you don't sprain an ankle or anything like that. And you're able to sort of get to the bottom of this rope and you're only, like 5 meters up. And the bottom part of this declining thing is, starts to kind of like level out a bit, so it's not as steep here either, and so it's relatively easy from there to kind of like slide down and sort of kind of run down a little bit and grab a tree. Give me another athletics check, Vindaros, for Twig as you lower Twig down. Nice. Okay, and Twig, give me also an athletics check.
Ooh.
Nice. You're also able to climb down pretty easily. Actually, don't you have a climbing speed? Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, I do. I have 5 meters.
you would be able to like climb down pretty easily. You don't even really need this rope.
Oh, yeah, great.
So now, Vindaros, how do you get down?
I wasn't actually planning on going down. I was waiting to see what my companions were doing on the ground, if there's anything there.
See if we can find anything.
If they're signaling to come down. It looks safe enough. Is there a stump that he could tie this off to, or some type of way that he's got leverage?
Yeah, I would say that there's probably a tree relatively close. It wouldn't grow too close to the edge. Like nothing like super big, I imagine. Yeah, I'd say there's something that's strong enough that you can find. Maybe some kind of like an oak tree or something like that. That's maybe like it's a bit of a dwarf because its roots can't spread out all the way that it would like because it's near this decline. Anyway, it's thick enough you can tie the rope around it, but it would definitely limit you. You can probably then only go down like not that far, like maybe I'll say like 10 feet, so like half of the way using the rope.
Okay, let's do it. Mastodon, climbing the rope. He looks embarrassed.
Oh.
All right, give me an athletics check. I'm lowering the DC for everyone because you're using the rope, just so you know. Nice. You are pretty easily allowed to make it down to the end of the rope, and then how do you proceed from there?
With caution. Oh, am I with the
You're only like halfway down.
Oh, okay.
I won't get you to make another check. I just wanted to.
Just with caution, and pretty much as he's walking down, before he places his foot, just like gives it a little test to see if it's loose or not. If it feels safe, then he puts his full weight on it to make his way down.
Okay. Sweet. Climbing is not an elephant's forte, I suppose.
I was just thinking of an elephant like walking on a tightrope. That's actually pretty standard.
Oh yeah. No worries at all. Give me an acrobatics check.
Also bounces ball on your
okay. So down here there are another 2 of these echidna folk corpses. And so there's another 2 flint spears and another 2 shields. And another 2 slings. Do you want all those things?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So 2 more slings. I'll say there's another 20 of the bullets. And the spears. Do I just give Vindaros the spears?
I'll carry those, yeah.
Okay. Couple of spears. And a couple more shields. Okay, and they also might have some other things on them. Let me have a look at what they got. I will say that among these corpses you do find some rations. And these will be I'm going to say you find 5 rations, but they are carnivore rations specifically. It's only meat that you find. This kind of like dried meat.
Dude, I guess I'll offer some to these guys. Yeah.
Any fish?
Not quite gunky enough.
I'll pass.
But Reti can eat these, but they will count as half a ration.
Well, yeah, I'll offer him some if he wishes.
And Vindaros, I think you can't eat these at all. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so Twig, how many of these rations do you want?
I guess I'll get 2.
All right,
There's 5, right?
5.
Yeah.
And then give the other 3 to Reti? All right. I'm adding these for you, carnivore rations.
Oh, thank you.
And Reti, I'll give you 3 of these.
Would I know if lemurs are carnivores?
Give me... It's interesting, I don't know what check to make for these. I guess they're humanoids. So it would probably be like a history check or something. Wait, I have this written down somewhere. Just give me a second. I used to have a reminder about this because I always forget what kind of check you need to make. I feel like for a humanoid it's a history check. But it's been a few months. Yeah, just give me a history check. I can't find where I had this note. Yeah. A lemur would be... I can't even remember. I can't remember either. Hold on. I made a lemur NPC. Let me see. A Lemurian. It is a herbivore.
Gotta find some herbivore snacks.
What do you do next? Oh, sorry. I hadn't finished telling you the treasure that you found amongst these corpses. You find a couple of these rations. You also find... you find a necklace. It is just a little strap with a piece of amber, a piece of smooth amber on the end. An amber amulet. And you also find another 8 shells, 8 of these like special shells, so like just copper pieces essentially, and then you find 12 more rings. These ones are silver, 12 silver rings. And that's everything that you find.
I'll put this with the others. Sorry, 12 silver?
Yeah, so 12 silver and 8 copper, essentially.
Alright, cool. And the amber necklace.
Yes.
Okay. I'll put it here. And can I inspect it?
Yep. What are you trying to discern?
Does it feel like it's sort of magical? Does it speak to me?
Magical. You can give me an Arcana check if you want to try to recall whether amber can be magical. You can give me an investigation check if you want to kind of like scrutinize it to see if there's any, I don't know, like etchings on it, moving parts, anything inside it.
Investigation.
You don't find anything in particular. It's just nice and smooth. Smooth.
I'll offer it to my friends if they would like to feel it. Smooth.
Oh, that's quite smooth.
Everybody was poking something. Dash will poke as well.
Yeah. Is there any trace, any trickle, any sounds or smells of water?
Just sort of in the nearby vicinity.
In the nearby, yeah.
Give me a perception check.
I was going to say, are there any tracks? Because these guys were running away.
Yes.
Can we make up where they were coming from?
Yeah, give me a survival check to see if you can find some tracks. I don't think I asked for a survival check last time, but I should have. I don't remember. Okay, Twig, you can't hear the sound of water over the sounds of the birds and the wind whistling through the trees. Vindaros, you look around on the ground here, especially like at the base of this cline. You do think you at least see like this kind of like a bunch of footprints. These are strange sort of insectoid footprints, and also these footprints that you would associate with the Echidna folk. There's kind of like just sort of a mess of footprints here. It looks like there's been a scuffle. You would have to kind of look a little bit further into the trees to see if there's any evidence of if you could work out which direction they came from. Do you walk a little bit further into the forest?
Yes, Vindaros would.
Okay, you walk a little bit further. And you're sort of walking. I realize I kind of drew that map in the wrong way because I guess you're walking to the southwest. I think that's why I got confused as well. So you're sort of walking in the southwest direction and looking in this, kind of undergrowth, and you do think that you see some footprints leading in that direction, in the same direction that the statue was pointing in.
I'll signal to my companions of the footprint and point them out.
I'll follow. These are insectoid footprints, aren't they?
It's pretty hard to tell specifically because of all of these dead leaves and everything. At the base of the cliff you could kind of make out the difference. But at this point, you can see sort of like maybe there's one like area of mud. It's kind of rained recently as well. That looks like one of these insectoid footprints. You can make it out fairly well. I'll see.
Yeah, I'll just follow very cautiously.
Okay. And so how far do you follow? Do you want to continue walking for just in this direction?
Yes.
All
I was
right.
going to say, good question.
Yes, it is a good question. I think, like, we follow quietly. Can you hear anything?
Yes. Yes. It puts at the rock.
Reti, are you kind of walking quietly as well?
Yeah. It's
Maybe
fine.
everyone give me a group stealth check. All right. Okay. So you're kind of stealthily moving through this foresty area, and you're going to kind of follow these signs in this southwesterly direction. You can travel for, let me see, another 2 hours. And you're starting to get, at this point, like very tired. You don't know how much more traveling you can do today.
And we don't see anything of interest along these tracks.
No, sorry. I'm getting
Oh,
there.
sorry. Okay.
You're kind of following these tracks along, and they are pretty much walking in a straight line. You can find, some sort of upturned leaves and things, and broken branches and such. And you reach what looks like, eventually, after a couple of hours travel, you make it down to here, and you see as you walk, you begin to hear the sound of running water. But you're moving slowly because you know that these tracks are sort of leading, somewhere, and where you might find more of these creatures. And you're walking stealthily, and as you almost at the same time as you hear this sound of water, you see a clearing up ahead. It looks like there's it's even in the sort of afternoon sun, it's a fair bit brighter ahead, and it looks like there's an area where the trees kind of thin out, and you see what looks like a large structure, kind of like kind of poking probably just above the tree line. It's difficult for you to see what it is. It looks like some kind of building or something, I'll say that you can peer through these trees and you see this like big stone building. And you would have never seen a building like this before. It's a big, it looks like, I'll say you can kind of move a little bit closer. This looks like essentially like a castle, but it's in ruins. It's like only, there's like one tower is still standing. There's sort of big pieces of rubble everywhere. A whole, one side of it has collapsed. And as you're kind of peering into this clearing, you hear this kind of sound, this chittering sound that you already would associate with these insectoids. Just kind of echoing around this clearing.
Do we have a sense of how many insectoids there are? Considering, like, we heard we fought around 4. Like, oh geez, this sounds like there's 20, 30 here, like a village, or is it?
You don't hear. Oh, sorry, I left out a main detail. You also see in this clearing this fairly small creek that is kind of running down this slope from the trees in the south, and kind of like weaves its way towards this castle, and then sort of weaves past this castle and in the direction of the north. And it looks like maybe I don't know exactly how much you can see. It kind of looks like maybe this thing once had like a moat around it, which again you wouldn't really know what that is, but it looks pretty dried up. There's just this like small creek running past these ruins, and the sound of these creatures sounds like not like a huge number, not like 20 or something like that, but more than a couple, at least as many as you fought before, maybe a few more. You think when you're kind of looking, you see some movement even, and maybe some of these creatures. You're still at quite a distance, but kind of like moving about around these ruins.
Can we get to the creek? Is the creek? If we make our way to the creek, are we heading towards those insectoids?
Yep.
Okay.
It basically runs like right past these ruins.
Yeah, you say the creek is just a trickle.
Well, it's just not a river. It's it's like a brook. There's like a decent amount of water, certainly enough for some refugees to drink from it.
Okay.
It's a stream.
And it looks like clear. Like, it doesn't look like it's full of gunk.
It's hard for you to see that from here.
Okay. I think we should, if we want to take this on, we should get some reinforcements.
Yeah, I think we found what we needed to. Sure we head for that.
So the only thing is that you've traveled a very long way. You've done at least like 8 hours of travel and you are very tired. If you continue to attempt to travel at this point, you risk becoming exhausted.
I think it's worth it to try head back to the beach.
As in to the coast or to the camp?
To the camp, or at least like away from this.
I have to agree.
Yes.
Let's move away.
Okay, so do you want to travel, or are you just kind of backing away a little bit, a few hundred meters back into the woods?
I would probably want to head back at least to the cliff face. But I don't know. What do you think?
I don't like that course of action.
Okay.
If I notice that heading back, I'll follow,
Okay.
knowing that there's uncertain danger ahead
All right.
from the insects.
Okay. All right. Let me see. As you head back in this direction, it's going to take another 2 hours. And let me see. Where am I? Oh, I've been entirely forgetting how to I've been entirely forgetting to do navigation checks. It's going to take me it's going to take me a few sessions to get used to this. We'll say that we're all we're starting us all off easy, so I won't ask for any navigation checks on the way back.
Oh, look, Vindaros was leaving little hints.
That's
as well
true.
along the way.
That's true.
That's true. Okay, the only thing is, I'm just trying to work out... bear with me. Okay, interesting. Everyone give me a con save. Nice.
Oh, that was a ability check, sorry.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
That's alright, we can just, because it's an ability check, so your constitution, you're a wizard.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah, it would be the same. So
Okay.
we can go with the 23, that's fine. Vindaros, you're quite worn out. Pretty tired. You have not had much to... No, you did have something to drink. You had some water from that barrel. But you haven't had any food. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay. I just need to find it on this sheet now.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that either. Where is it? Exhaustion.
I'll help carry some of the stuff he's lugging.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Reti's not really lifting his weight.
Where is it?
Oh,
Maybe it's on
found
the...
it. It's in the
Where is it?
conditions. You gotta switch it on.
Oh yeah, don't use that though.
Oh,
those
okay.
conditions are all because I have a mod that's like,
Oh,
yeah, don't use those conditions.
it's to the left of your armor class underneath the underneath your token. It's 3
Oh
little
yeah.
dots.
Okay, sweet.
Oh,
Exhaustion
I thought
level.
they would put like death saves and stuff
The
like
death
that.
saves are that skull at the like below your hit dice. If you
Oh,
click
yeah.
that, it kind of pulls out this like skull.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a really good thing. I'm not making this up. I just rolled it before. Just as you are feeling very exhausted and very hungry, you come across what looks like a large green kind of chaotic spindly bush that has these like red and sort of like dark red, kind of purplish berries on it. You find what looks like I think where are you from? No, they're just berries to you. But let me think. It is winter, actually. So a lot of these berries, this would only have, I will say, it has a couple of shriveled up berries on it. It doesn't have like a lot of berries. But it's a big bush. There's kind of maybe a couple of these like bushes next to each other. You feel that like, you could kind of scrape around in the dirt below it and like, I don't know, I'm really kind of pushing it for there to be some berries on this thing in the middle of winter.
Well, aren't strawberries, aren't they actually wintry?
Oh.
Well, these I was thinking raspberries, and I think strawberries as well would be like summer and autumn. I'm just trying to think, maybe what I'll say is that they're actually they're juniper berries, because they're kind of like, I don't know, little darker, kind of harder things. Maybe some of them would persist like into the winter if they're not kind of like picked off by like other animals and things. So yeah, some juniper berries. There's not that many, but you can pick them off if you wish to. Do you wish to?
I do wish to.
I'll give you one ration. One herbivore ration. I'll put that in your... Are you just going to eat it straight away?
Are we... I'm just trying to work. How are you working the rations? Like, are we having one daily?
Basically, if you want to take a long rest, you have to first drink and eat, or have drunk and eaten in the last 24 hours.
Okay. I'll definitely take the rations. I'm not sure if I'll eat them straight away.
Okay. But I'll say that everyone has had enough to drink in the last 24 hours. But yeah, you would still need to eat if you want to take a long rest.
Is there a little bit more ration at all on there?
Also, I'll just give you this level of exhaustion, Vindaros. Oh, it doesn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't add it.
I wonder if you have to edit your sheet to do it. No, that doesn't seem to do it either. Is it because you've used the effects, maybe? No?
Actually, I might actually turn on the condition. No, I can't turn it on.
Strange. I don't know.
Huh.
Okay, I'll just note it.
Yeah. Might be able to... Oh no, because that won't work either. Let me see if I at least can kind of put a condition on you that way. There should be like a reminder anyway when we get back to like a map. Okay. I'll have to have a look into that. Twig. I'm gonna say no. You aren't able to find any more of these berries. It is like, it's the middle of winter. It's only like, probably at this point, given that it's like later in the afternoon, it's only like maybe 3 or 4 degrees Celsius at the moment. But we've moved back to where this incline is. And now it's like getting pretty dark. The sun is beginning to go down and it's starting to get dark. And you can make your way back to this, now it is an incline.
Yeah, how do we feel? Shall we push further? Or stay here and I'll pull out the pyrite and, like, you know, we can make fire.
You can tell. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to work out. It still won't be a long. Would there be a kind of there's a long rest if we do rest here?
Yep. Well, if you rest for, 8 or 9
8
hours.
hours if we have like watches.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, you can choose. You can take a short rest or a long rest, but if you don't take a short rest, then you're, pushing into you haven't rested, so you're going to start really be risking exhaustion.
Short rest or long rest?
How do you get rid of exhaustion? Do you need a long rest?
Yeah.
Or,
Say that again.
I was just saying, how do you get rid of exhaustion? Do you need to?
Oh yeah, long rest. Yep.
Sorry, Jim. I'm just trying to think of your rules. When it comes to long rest, I don't regain hit points, do I?
Correct.
Unless it's in the safe zone.
Yep. You regain all of your spells and features, but you don't regain hit points or hit dice. But if you don't long rest, then you there's a very good chance you become exhausted.
If we have a short rest, are we still likely to become exhausted on the way back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's just like, you're sort of pulling over for a moment and sitting down and sort of
Gotcha.
taking a breather. But you're still awake, you haven't like slept. So yeah, definitely.
Yes, I think Vindaros is looking for at the edge of the incline now an area that they can use as a refuge.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a survival check. So just like
something
somewhere that's just a bit kind of go on.
here then, to the side, not directly where all the action was happening, the main path.
Okay.
Survival.
You're able to find this spot where you kind of like follow this this incline along a little bit, and you reach not so much of a cave, but like a little bit of a part where some of the dirt gives way to a kind of a bit of a rocky kind of impression in the rock, and there's a bunch of trees that are kind of growing up right next to it that are these sort of bushes and things, and these deciduous trees, and it's quite like covered. You figure like you could kind of get in there and you would be a little bit out of the way, not as likely to be spotted.
Yep. Definitely setting up an area there.
Okay.
Make some leaf piles to sleep on.
If that's the case as well, Vindaros will also eat his ration.
Okay. And so everyone else
So you
will
can long
need
rest,
to... So basically, to take a long rest, you must have eaten 1 ration and drunk 4 litres or 2 water skins within the last 24 hours. So yeah, we'll say that you've all had the water. I forget who's had a ration.
How do I eat it? Oh, Reti, you're an omnivore, aren't you?
Yeah. I assume that's why you say I needed 2 carnivore rations.
2,
right?
yep.
Yeah. It'll do the job, I guess.
Wait, hold on. You're an omnivore. Wait.
That's what it says.
Hold on, I think I've got it the wrong way around, because if you're an omnivore, you can obviously eat both. So no, sorry, it's... Wait, hold on, I'm confused. What ration are you eating?
Carnivore rations.
And you're an omnivore. So, no, sorry, you're fine. What does it say on the ration? I forget my own thing.
Consumable by carnivores and omnivores.
Yeah, maybe I think I must have gotten rid of. That must have been an earlier idea. My apologies. I think it's just a matter of who can eat the ration. There's no half ration, so you only need to eat one of these because you're an omnivore, so you can eat it, all of it.
I think it was just good berries. I noticed that you had half ration. I like 1 HP for good berry.
Yeah, it's like good berry is basically you got to eat all 10 berries for one ration, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Just one ration is fine.
Were my berries any good?
You mean like, did they restore any hit points? No. Unfortunately not. Okay.
It's like a money tree.
Okay.
If we do have long rests, also we'll Vindaros will give the impression of setting up a watch. Like he'll just stay awake and settle the other two and guess rotate.
Okay. So the way you can do this if you want to all get a long rest is you can sleep for 9 hours and then you can each take a turn watching. Otherwise, you won't be able to all take a rest, a long rest.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think a long rest is 8 hours anyway.
Yes, but if you, because if you all want to get a long rest, you'll need to sleep for 9 hours essentially.
Is it like 6 hours of sleep each or something? Or?
Yeah, it's like you
Just
have
like
to.
10.
A long rest is like 6 hours of actual sleep and then 2 hours of like low activity, and so you can kind of overlap, and you can each get the 6 hours rest if you do a 9 hour rest. But if you only do 8 hours, then I've had to like sit down and like work this out on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to all have a rest, you sleep for 9 hours, and. Okay, everyone give me a perception check. What's the order of rests?
Oh, can I go first?
Okay.
It's because my age armor was still up.
He's had a long day.
Okay, I'll go last.
Let me think. Hold on. I'm trying to do maths. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't roll.
Yeah. Give me a perception check, Twig.
With eyes or normal?
Let me see. How do you do in the dark?
I have low light vision.
Yeah, in that case, go normal. That's fine.
Normal. Okay.
Oh, sorry. You can use advantage. Like, do what you
okay.
normally would do.
I see. Perception. I'll just give you another.
Okay. You don't see anything during your watch.
Okay.
Who goes next?
Think Reti.
Reti was.
Maybe just both of you give me a perception check.
Can I use my keen hearing as well?
Yep, you can do that.
Okay.
So, perception from who? Perception?
From both Reti and Vindaros.
Oh.
All right. You are able to take a long rest successfully. Nothing happens in the night. But you went to sleep pretty damn early, and so you wake up. It is still dark when you wake up. You feel like maybe you've got like a couple of hours before sunlight. But you have had a full rest, so you can give yourself a full rest on your sheet, and I think it should do the right thing and like not restore your hit die Vindaros. But it should give you everything else, although you haven't really used anything, I don't think. But it'll give you.
Yeah, that's correct. Just my hit die. But that's fine. That's still it. Can Vindaros search the area for any other berries? Since he saw some of those bushes before, it might be a fruitful area.
Yes. How far do you want to search?
Not too far, just within the area that we're in, like where we are now, the front of the cliff. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a survival check. You are not able to find any more of the. You find a couple more of these bushes, but they're just completely barren.
Okay. I'll definitely note that type of bush, though.
All right. What did I say? It was juniper berries.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you do next as you begin to stir?
I guess we make our way. Leave no trail where we're camping. And make our way to where the rope was.
Yeah, so if you want to cover your tracks, how do you do that? You didn't light a fire or anything.
No, just where we were camping.
Leaves together and stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably say in future as well, like now that I think about it, if you're not lighting a fire, I imagine it would have made it harder to kind of, well, I don't know. I have to think about, like, because why light a fire at all? Maybe you would risk some cold exposure or something. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. Give me a survival check, Vindaros, I think, just to sort of like try to cover up your tracks and stuff.
Okay. Oh, look, it's not. I can. It's not that important. I just want to make sure that we don't leave no.
I think it's a good idea. Oh.
All right.
It makes it worse.
You have a crack. You have a crack at
it. Okay, good to go.
Okay, and where do you go? Do you try to kind of climb back up this incline again?
If we can do it with this light, I would say yes.
Yeah, it's like still pretty dark.
Did we get back to the rope easily? Sorry.
Say again?
Did we get back to the rope easily, or we just sort of...
The rope?
Yeah, the one that we tied against the incline. Vindaros
you could probably you'll have to kind of climb. It's probably it only reaches about halfway down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up to you if you want to climb back up and try to reach that rope, or if you want to follow the incline around. I'm glad that it's now actually an incline. Fuck. I'm never doing a decline ever again.
Can we can we actually see where it tapers back down? The incline? If it does taper?
You mean like if you kind of follow it along? You can't see anywhere near where you are, where it's sort of, not anywhere close. You'd have to kind of follow it for some way.
It might be good to follow it. Because now...
You can see Vindaros is pretty beaten up. From his... from those fights.
Yeah, maybe it's better to head home. Get patched up.
He's not looking too thrilled at climbing.
Wait, how come you have 6 hit points? Is that because you use your hit die?
No, that's... I used the hit die right at the start from last fight.
Right. Did it heal you when you long rested?
No, we don't gain hit HP when we long rest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have... That's why I was just... Because you're on full hit points, aren't you?
No, 6. Oh! Why is it?
I can't remember. I thought you were like injured.
Yeah, I've only got 6 hit points left. That's weird. My total's 13 off.
What? That's so strange. Why does it do that? 6 out of 6 it looks like it's saying.
Yeah, that's right. I've only got 6 left.
So it should be 6 out of 13?
Should be 6 out of 13, yeah.
What the? I can't even change it. Wait, hold on. Temp max, overall bonus, per level bonus. It's really weird. I don't know what the deal is with these sheets. Maybe they still need a bit of work, or maybe just I need a bit of work. I might have to kind of like...
They give you the sheets.
Yeah, I don't get it. 13 doesn't do anything. So if I put this down to 5... No, this is saying your maximum hit points is 6.
Yeah.
Is it? Should it be 13?
Yeah.
That's pretty high for a... Isn't it? For first level? Maybe not.
Mine's a
Enough.
So,
Yeah, mine is 6.
I'm surprised. Hold on. Let me have a look.
Yeah, we can break on later if you want.
That's alright. No, I just kind of noticed, and because I was just wondering if the rest thing had healed you, because it's not supposed to. Like, I tried to change it so that it didn't. Did it heal anyone else?
Oh, there we go. I worked it out. It's back to 6 to 13.
What was it?
The effects, the exhaustion was still 1. When I switched it off, I dropped it to 6 for some reason.
Oh, do you mean in the actual, like, where is it? Exhaustion. Like
under,
this thing?
Yeah, second last tab, the effects.
It's so weird, it's like I can't actually affect it.
did you maybe give yourself the wrong exhaustion number? So there's besides the left and right.
Oh yeah, there's a 4.
That's what I'm thinking, because that should be half HP, right?
Yeah.
Has exhaustion 1.
Yeah, that was what I gave you.
Okay, so I've just deselected the exhaustion 1 and it went back to 6 out of 13.
Okay. I can't see where you're, or how you're, it's like I'm not able to give you any exhaustion or click on these things for some, oh, there we go, I gave you.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, what? Oh, that's so strange. Let me remove that. Oh, frightened is giving you exhaustion. Yeah, like, just, like, ignore those conditions. Like, they're not, like, they don't work properly, I think, because I have a module installed. So they're just weird, so don't click them. Okay. All sorted. Alright, so what are we doing? Are we following the incline, or are we trying to climb up again?
I think Vindaros is heading, like, sort of around the incline.
Okay. So
if anyone else is following, if he's getting that vibe.
So, are you traveling to the sort of northwest or the southeast?
North? West? East?
I
Northeast?
think the instincts will go northeast.
Oh, so the incline,
West.
because the incline is kind of like going from the northwest down to the southeast, right?
Yes.
So in order to follow it, you'd have to follow that incline in either of those two directions.
Oh, okay. Then the northwesterly direction. Along
Okay.
there, I guess.
All right, sweet. Okay, so
Because instinct says if we worst case scenario, if we head back to the coasts, we can follow the coast around to our camp. If we can't.
all right. So all right. Okay, so you travel for another 2 hours. Into this hex here. And as you're walking along in this direction, you begin to hear the sounds of the ocean. And you eventually come to a point where the trees give way, and you can kind of see the ocean as stretching out before you in this sort of pre-dawn, like dim light, and you kind of come where this tree line ends. You also encounter this like low wall, like a low stone wall. It's not quite up against like where like the end of this this forest kind of meets, where there would probably be like another embankment like leading out to this beach. A little bit back in the tree line, this wall that's like kind of similarly to that castle. It's kind of like crumbled. But you don't see anything else around other than that. But it just looks like, yeah, just this like piece of wall that's just kind of really ancient. It looks like it's been here for like a very, very long time.
Is there any stones? Are the stones all just piled on each other, or they're like cemented in with mortar also? Like what Vindaros is looking for as he's approaching, just out of curiosity, if there's a loose stone on the wall.
Yeah, you can easily find lots of loose stones
Okay.
kind of lying around this wall, you know, buried partially in the dirt and in the leaves. And if you kind of walk up to this wall and sort of push it or give it a kick, some of it appears to be like cemented a little bit, but it's like pretty crumbly. It's like a very, very old structure.
Okay. Can we get past it with ease?
Yeah.
If we wanted to?
It's pretty short. You can basically step over it.
Is there any writing or runes on parts of this wall?
Give me a perception check. Yeah, you kind of scour this wall, have a good look at it, scratch away some of the dirt. You don't find any writing on it.
Vindaros is happy to continue stepping over the wall.
All right, you can step over this wall, and you don't have to walk for much longer to kind of reach these embankments that lead down to this sandy beach. That looks very similar to the beach that you were on before. Quite a deep beach, and there's sort of rocks here and there. And a couple of these sort of hardy beech trees and bushes and things like that, but you don't see much else around as you kind of step onto the sand.
Is the wall visible from the coastline, the beach?
It's
if we
like,
walk back this way?
It's like just behind the tree line. So like at this point, you wouldn't be able to see it anymore.
Okay. Vindaros is happy to continue to walk along the beach as well.
Mm-hmm.
If it's clear.
To the northeast?
To the northeast, yeah.
Okay. So you can begin walking in a northeasterly direction. Walking along the beach is probably a little bit easier than walking through the forest, but you're trudging through the sand, so it slows you down a little bit. But I'll say let me see. Okay, I say it probably takes you another 2 hours to walk in this direction, to walk another 5 kilometers. And you can sort of, see these these pine and oak trees and stuff kind of come right up to this embankment. In one case, some of these beech pines and things, or some of these pine trees sort of encroach on the actual beach and sort of grow out of some of these sort of dirty, rocky, kind of stony bits that are sort of raised. Otherwise you don't see anything else, but it begins to... Let me just see. It begins to do something. The sky begins to do something, I think, probably. Yeah, it begins to rain as you're walking along this beach. The rain sort of increases in strength. And is kind of, just this sort of, not like a super heavy downpour or anything, but just this constant rain begins as you're kind of walking up here, as the sun rises. And
can Vindaros has the sail that he collected.
Yep.
Can he pass one quarter to Reti? He holds one over his shoulder just to keep the rain off us, and Twig can walk in the middle. A tarp. Just keep,
Yeah, that makes sense. So, how big did we say it was?
Oh, I think in last session you mentioned it was actually a few, I just put 2 by 2 meters.
That sounds good. 2 by 2 meters. So you could probably all kind of hold it up and huddle underneath it to protect yourself from the rain as you're walking along.
Yeah, corner each. And Twig can just chill in the middle, just walking.
And it is probably at this point it's pretty cold again. It's maybe warmed up a little bit. It's not as, I don't know. At this time in the morning, I don't know, it's probably about 3 degrees. And there's a fairly light wind, but yeah, just this constant rain. And otherwise you don't see anything else. Do you keep walking? Keep following the beach?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
it takes you another 2 hours to follow the beach, and you literally don't see anything except for just beach and just this line of trees.
And our campfire? The smoke in the distance? Not yet?
Yeah, you could probably see some smoke in the distance from here as you begin to approach. Do you continue?
Yes.
We're almost home.
No. We just give up at this point.
There's a Sharknado with sharks.
Okay, you are able to head back to the group.
Before we get back,
Yep.
can I steal a shield from Vindaros?
Yeah.
Okay, shield.
before Randy tries to take them.
Alright, where am I? Okay, should now be in your inventory. And if you want to
Yes.
equip it, just hit the shield next to the shield to equip the shield. And as you approach where you left all of these people, you see that there are significantly less of them here. In fact, whereas there were like some, a little bit over 200, it looks like there's only half of them here now. And as you approach, you see some of the individuals who you met before you left. And one of them comes up to you, Farrik comes up.
Oh, we thought something had happened to you. Where have you been?
Do I understand him?
Yes.
We went to look for a place with water, and a safe place that we could shelter, and I think we found some. What's happened here?
Oh, that Razi ostrich fellow, he convinced a whole group of people that, I couldn't exactly understand what he was saying, but I got the gist of it. It seems that many folk thought that you had just disappeared and that you weren't coming back. Something terrible must have happened. We didn't expect you to stay that long, and we ran out of water. Well, we're nearly out of water. We had a fight broke out over the last remaining barrel, and in the end, we managed to protect it, but it is nearly completely empty, and Razi led at least 100 or so of them into the plains. He claimed that he was going to be able to find water out there, but we stayed. I convinced them that we would stay a little longer, because I know that you have the capability of being heroes, and I had faith that you would return. But I have to be honest, it's nearly midday, and we also were thinking soon we would head into the forest to look for some water.
I see. I'm sorry, we should have left word. We got stuck along the way. I'm glad you guys stayed.
I'm glad that you were able to find water. Tell me, where did you find it? Did you find it in the plains, or did you find it in the forest?
What do you know? It was in the forest, wasn't it, guys?
I knew it! He turns around. I told you all along. I knew it. If only Razi had gone with you, if only we had all gone with you, we would all be drinking our fill of this lovely fresh water. Okay, when do we leave?
Let's end the session there.
Oh dear. Who's gonna tell them that they have to fight some beetle creatures?
Burn your water.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I love these pics as well. Did you use some artwork, AI art? Did you create them?
I drew all these
Right.
myself. They're original works.
I thought so.
Yeah, no, definitely AI. Yeah, I mean, like all of the artwork
Even
that
the rhino.
I've had to create for the rhino as well.
Yeah.
That I've had to create for like all of the creatures and everything. Like I wouldn't be able to do this thing without that. I don't have the money to pay an artist to do all of that.
You can't go wrong. Like, how good is it? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's scary good.